Okay, shalom everybody. Shalakia for being a little tardy. Hope everybody's doing well today. Let me see. Just making sure we're all good on the books are ready. Everything is ready. We are gonna go. So once again, shalom to everybody. isbhpk San Antonio, isbhpk Houston, isbhpk Virginia. The brothers out in Rochester. Shalom to everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. May the Most High bless y'all and have a great Tawab Shabbat. Shalom Bakar, Shalom Moshe, Daniela, Shayaban, everybody out there online. Shalom, hope everybody's doing well. Let me see. Where are we at? Yeah, I just think we probably just need to get started since we're running behind a little bit. So let's just get the prayers going.
You need a reader up?
I got it. I'll just read both for this one.
It's the solo.
We're doing the solo mission today. We all stretched out thin today, man. Okay. Baruch atah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Hahawa'ah. Nathan Lanawam. Awar. Zayawam. Thawada. Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us light this day. Thanks, so be it. All right. Baruch atah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Hahawa'am. Nathan Lanawam. Rayach. Nayachacha. Thawada. Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us sweet savor. Thank you, so be it. All right. That's what I have to do also. I've been forgetting this lately. Slakia, I've got to cut Zoom on because I've been forgetting this lately. I don't know why. There we go. There. All right. Imagine Wapanya Yerushalayim. Rise and face Jerusalem. Baruch atah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Baruch atah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah. Nathan Lanawam. Hashabbat. Bashalom. Thawada. Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121. Anasha. Ayanyamya. Haharyam. Ma'aya. Yabu'ah. Isaiah. Yabu'ah. Ma. Yahweh. Sha'isha. Shemayim. Wa'arataza. La'a. Yanathan. Lamawat. Regalia. Yala'a. Noam. Shashamaya. Hana. Yala'a. Noam. Wala'a. Yashan. Shashawamar. Yasharala. Yahweh. Shemaya. Yahweh. Tizalia. Ayel. Yanyamya. Yad. Hashamash. Yala'a. Hakaya. Bayawam. Wala'a. Halabana. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamaya. Makor. Rai. Yashamar. Napasha. Yahweh. Yashamar. Hawalakia. Wa'aya. Ma'aitha. Wa'aid. I will love. Aman. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy spirit. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen. Israelite Credo. Shema Yashalom.
Shema Yashalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allahayana.
Allahayana.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Achad. Shema Yashalom.
Shema Yashalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allahayana.
Allahayana.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Achad.
Achad.
Shema Yashalom.
Shema Yashalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allahayana.
Allahayana.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Achad.
Achad.
Hear Israel. Yahweh our power. Yahweh is one. Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wathka, Thaba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathalanawa, Lacham, Ko, Yawam, Wasalachanawa, Chawathinawa, Kasalachanawa, Wathinawa, Wala'a, Thabiyanawa, Abo, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wataparat, La'ai Walamyam. Amen. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. Amen. Ten Commandments. La'ayahaya. Laka. Alahayam. Achar. Achayam. Ayah. Panya. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Number 2. La'a. Tha'ayna. Laka. Pasal. Wala'a. Tha'ibada. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, nor serve them. Number 3. La'a. Thalachwacha. Sham. Yahweh. Washawa. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain. Number 4. Zakar. Hayawam. Hashabbat. Lakwadashwa. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 5. Kabada Baka. Ya'amaka. Honor thy father and thy mother. Number 6. La'at Ratazak. Thou shalt not kill. Murder. Number 7. La'a Thana'a. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Number 8. La'a Thaganav. Thou shalt not steal. Number 9. La'a Tha'ayna. Shakwar. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Number 10. La'a Thachamad. Ko. Asherah. Lara'ika. Thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's. Barak Tha Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Hahawa'a. Nathal Hathawara. Bless you, Yahweh. No. In the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law. Okay, everybody shut me. Okay. So, where we left off last week in Numbers was dealing with Moses giving instructions to the entire nation concerning, I guess, how the camps were supposed to be structured. The camps, the families, the nation were supposed to be structured around the tabernacle. We explained this earlier, but we'll briefly go into it again to get everybody else some time to make it to class. But what's been happening, you have your tabernacle, which was the center of all the nation of Israel. Inside your tabernacle, you had your Holy of Holies, and you had your holy place that was tinted up. Then you had your altar. You had your altar where all the sacrifices were done. You had your laver, your cleaning water basin, and all the things inside. Then you had your surrounding perimeter of your tabernacle. Then you had your 3 tribes covering the east end, which was Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, if I'm not mistaken. Then you had 3 tribes at the south, 3 tribes at the west, 3 tribes up north. And then you had the 3 families, the 3 Levite families, which covered the inside, who made their dwelling areas inside the tabernacle in the orders of the Most High. You had Merari up top. No, Merari was south. No, Merari was north. Gershon was to the west. South was Kohath. And then on the east was Aaron, his sons, and Moses. And what we went through earlier was just a breaking down of all the positions of all the Hebrew families and all the tribes. And then after that, we talked about briefly about the each family of Levi was responsible for transportation of certain parts of the tabernacle / temple. Okay, you had Merari was in charge of all the wood and the sockets and all the pins that kept the tabernacle together. Okay, Gershon, their family, was in charge of the transportation of all the woven materials and all the cloths that were used to cover and set up the tabernacle. And then Kohath, their family, was in charge of transporting all of the items inside the tabernacle. The gold altar incense, the gold candlestick, all the golden pieces of the golden table with the showbread in it. They had to transport, and the Holy of Holies, all of that stuff from place to place. And when we left off in the beginning of Numbers chapter 4, was that from 30 to 50 was that perfect age that the Most High had commissioned and wanted to do a count or a number of all the Levites who were accessible from the tribe of Kohath or from the family of Kohath that could actually carry the those golden pieces.
What does Merari? Does transport some like this?
They're all transport.
Oh, okay.
Merari just had to transport the wood and the sockets and all the ways that they fastened the tabernacle. And Kohath, I mean, not Kohath, but Gershon, they had to sit back here and do it too, but just with the cloth. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Or the woven materials. And then Kohath had to sit back and do it too. They had to carry all the gold pieces, but if I'm not mistaken, it was Eleazar was in charge of wrapping it. Only the priest could actually even touch the gold items. So they would help wrap it and set it up for the other people of Kohath to actually carry it and transport it to the next destination. And the people who were commissioned to do the transport were between 30 and 50. You would imagine that time period or that age was based on maturity and just people that would take the job a lot more serious. And once again, the book of Numbers is the numbering of Israel. The numbering of Israel, numbering of the warriors, numbering of the priests, numbering of all the people who would set up and do their jobs. Because all the numbering was in preparation to head the camp out from the Sinai and to go up to Canaan and take the land. So that was the original plan from the jump. So now we're at Numbers chapter 4. dealing with 4 and 21 is where we're going to start. Dealing with the numbering of Gershon and numbering of Merari, because Kohath was already numbered with the men between the ages of 30 and 50 to do their job. Okay? So, my word.
4 and 20?
This 4 and 21.
Okay.
Let's salute you in real quick.
All right. Marwala Shah Shabbatah, Ban Yehuda, Ban Yashrala.
Mawala, Shah Shabbatah, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yashala, Amajid. Right? Yahweh Hashem Yah Shabbatah.
Yahweh Shimya Shah Barakatah.
Alright, so clear this. This incense is burning fast. Man. So let's get started on Numbers chapter 4, verse 21. So we can get rolling on the reading.
Come. Numbers chapter 4, verse 21 reads, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers.
So don't forget, Kohath was talked about earlier. In Kohath's lineage, Levi, let's go back earlier. Levi had 3 sons. The father Levi, the tribe Levi, he had 3 sons, Merari, Gershon, and Kohath. Okay? And off of those 3 families, those 3 sons, were the 3 lineages of the Levite people. Okay? And now they're breaking up these 3 groups into specific offices. Kohath was the most prestigious of the group because the only people that could actually be priests, the high priests, were from the sons of Kohath, or the lineage of Kohath. Now, if they weren't the priests, they still had to serve in some type of capacity. And in the capacity they were serving in at this particular point was transportation. So if you weren't Aaron, Eleazar, and Ithamar, everybody else was sitting back here transporting all of these fine items, the gold pieces, the laver, the altar, all that was for their responsibility. And they all had those staves. If they were heavy and big, they had those gold staves that they would put through it and carry it on their shoulders. So we're going to keep reading. I don't want to take everything else out. So now we're dealing with Gershon. Because earlier it was Kohath, now it's Gershon. And Gershon dealt with all the cloth materials, all the woven materials that was put together to cover the tabernacle of the Most High. Read on.
Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers, by their families, from 30 years old and upward until 50 years old shalt thou number them. All that enter into perform the service to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
This is the service of the families of the Gershonites to serve and for burdens. And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle and the tabernacle of the congregation, his covering, and the covering of the badger's skin that is above upon it, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the hangings of the court, and the hanging for the door of the gate of the court, which is by the tabernacle and by the altar round about, and their cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve.
So we see Gershon had all the cloth materials, all the coverings, all the door coverings, all of that was their responsibility. Now, this tabernacle didn't have doors. They had what? Cloth curtains that were used for the priests to get through. So their job was to sit back here, wrap it, cover it, and carry it. Okay, and transport it. Read on.
Verse 27. At the appointment of Aaron and his sons shall be all the service of the sons of the Gershonites, in all their burdens, and in all their service. And ye shall appoint unto them in charge all their burdens.
Exactly. So They wanted the men from 30 to 50. They were responsible. They were men who could be trusted. And that was the sweet spot of the age that they wanted to do these jobs. Okay? Continue.
This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation. And their charge shall be under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest.
So Ithamar was in charge of making sure the families of Gershon did their job. I mentioned earlier, Aaron really had 4 sons, but 2 of them died when they burnt strange incense the day that the tabernacle was first erected. Okay? Or first, not erected, but first
Established.
consecrated. Because when they consecrated the tabernacle and they offered their first offering, the Most High accepted the sacrifice and shot fire down and burnt it up. But shortly after that, when good is held, evil is present, they were sending back here burning strange fire for the Most High. And he sat back and immediately killed those 2 sons right on spot. So he had 4 sons. Now he has 2. Eleazar and Ithamar are the ones who were left. Ithamar is in charge, or was in charge, of the Gershonites and the transportation of all the cloth and woven materials for that tribe. Let's keep going.
Verse 29. As for the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families by the house of their fathers.
And once again, all these families, Merari, Kohath, and Gershon, were separated from the rest of the nation. They were enclosed in the tabernacle, and they weren't really associating themselves with everybody else. The Most High symbolically let them know that the Levites were going to be separated from everybody else. The Levites are mine. Exactly. Levi was joined to him, but all the other tribes were on the outskirts doing their thing. So he really created a separation. What you also understand about the Most High is he is we'll read into it. But he means what he says, and he's about doing things in order, and he's about doing things the right way and sticking to specifics. The Most High is a very detail-orientated power. Why is that important? If I want to gain the favor of the Most High, shouldn't I sit back here and take the time to try to gain the attributes that the Most High makes so near and dear to him? If the Most High is methodical, does things step by step, decently and in order, shouldn't we sit back and strive and attain to do the same type of thing? If I want to get the Heavenly Father's attention, let me sit back here and tap into his traits. But his priests were brought to him and to him only, and he kept them close. So let's continue. So we're dealing with Merari, and we're dealing with the numbering of the men of Merari between 30 and 50. Read on.
Verse 30. From 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, shalt thou number them.
Mm-hmm.
Every one that entereth into the service to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Exactly.
And this is the charge of their burden, according to all their service in the tabernacle of the congregation. The boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and sockets thereof, and the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, with all their instruments, and with all their service, and by name ye shall reckon the instruments of the charge of their burden. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, according to all their service in the tabernacle of the congregation.
What is this showing you is that Merari got some heavy lifting to do. All that wood, all the protecting coverings of the tabernacle and the sockets and all the interconnecting joints to set up their the tabernacle was their responsibility alone. Okay, so read on.
Under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest.
So Ithamar was in charge not just with Gershon. He was in charge of Merari as well, in the maintenancing of that entire situation. Read on.
And Moses and Aaron, and the chief of the congregation, numbered the sons of Kohathites after their families, and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, every one that entered into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation, and those that were numbered of them by their families were 2,750.
So once again, they made a count. They made a count on the Kohathites, because the Kohathites were the ones who did with the direct work inside the tabernacle. The other two families did with the outside work. They did with the inside work. Okay, read on.
These were they that were numbered of the families of the Kohathites, all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, which Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses.
Now don't forget, I said it earlier, but the high priest or the sons of Aaron were allowed to touch the gold items because everything was gold. Everything was gold inside the tabernacle. Whether it was, like I said, the incense, the candlesticks, the altar of incense, everything in that holy place was all gold. And the only people that can actually touch it was Eleazar, Aaron, the high priest. Now, the rest of the Kohathites were able to carry it. And that's what this is expressing. Because don't forget, whenever the cloud would leave wherever they were at, that was the Most High saying what?
To the head out.
The cloud was the chariot. And they lived and they followed and they functioned based off the cloud. So they followed the cloud until the cloud stopped. Then they set camp back up and the tabernacle was reconstructed.
When it settled, they
When it settled, exactly. Exactly. And so what the Most High was doing, he was really trying to train Israel to follow. He was giving Israel the basic foundationary steps of how to trust and follow. Okay, it's time to leave. The chariot left. It's time for us to go. Okay, the chariot stopped. It's time for us to stop. What the Most High was trying to teach us was how to follow him. That wouldn't have been
right
cool. I'm good.
First of all, there's some reflexes right there.
Listen, something had to happen. Either I was going to sit back and catch and grab something, or I was going to fall and bust my tail. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so the Most High was trying to train them. He gave us, you know what's crazy? He gave us specific orders. And he told us, even in the law, everything was specific. And he was trying to eliminate any thinking and guesswork. All the thinking, all the opinion, he tried to eliminate all of us. Just get your head out of the way and let me just lead you. The answer to the test are right here. I gave you everything you needed. Just follow me, do what I say, and everything's going to work out. And we found a way to screw up the pooch. Because we want to sit back and include ourselves in the mix.
It also teaches not to be so comfortable at one location, one spot.
Once, it was about, it was about eliminating comfort. But the crazy thing is, the Most High was about eliminating comfort, but he gave us structure too. It was both. Because he gave us a lot of structure along with the discomfort. He said, all you got to do is follow this structure, follow this set of ways, and then trust in that way. Now, are you going to sit back here and be uncomfortable? Yes. In certain things, but in certain things, no. Does that make sense? No? Yes?
God.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Verse 38. And those that were numbered of the sons of Gershon throughout their families and by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entereth into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation, even those that were numbered of them throughout their families by the house of their fathers, were 2,630. These are they that were numbered of the families of the sons of Gershon, of all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, whom Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of the Lord. And those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari throughout their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entereth into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation, even those that were numbered of them after their families were 3,200.
Funny thing is, you notice, even in the writing of the scriptures, the Most High repeats the same thing over and over again. He constantly repeats it. He reiterates something. Whatever's new, he reiterates it twice. It almost seems like he reiterates this. We read just a second ago. We read it from chapter 4, verse 1 to like 33. Then he goes back and does it again. He keeps repeating the concepts so it can stick and so we can start to accept it. This is how the Most High operates. He tries to repeat it. He speaks to us once, say twice, but man perceiveth it not. A lot of times he communicates to us the same concept. It takes us a long time to accept and understand. Okay, read on.
Verse 45. These be those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. All those that were numbered of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the chief of Israel numbered, after their families and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that came to do the service of the ministry, and the service of the burden in the tabernacle of the congregation, even those that were numbered of them were 8,500 and 80.
Listen, the Most High still taught. This is still work. He said everything that's being done is a burden. It's a grind. This, and people think traveling with all this stuff was an easy or light situation. It really wasn't. This was a taxing, grueling gig. This was not some light. It wasn't like they was going to walk a mile and stop. Imagine, because all these, for instance, Kohath had to carry this stuff on their back in satchels. Now you're going to read about Merari and Gershon. At least they were donated. The rest of the tribes of Israel donated them on wagons to put this in, which is still tough, but it's better than carrying it on your back. What's that?
That's interesting. So there was no quote unquote commandment that said they had to build wagons for these individuals.
It was required.
Required?
They told the Jews that they need to give an offering, but the offering was, we're going to read it down a little bit later on, about they needed to bring these wagons. All the tribes came together and brought these wagons.
Was it spelled out that they had to give specifically?
We're going to read it.
Oh.
We're going to read it. We're going to read it. Because I don't remember off the top of my head. That's what I'm saying. I think it was like an offering. I think it was an offering, but we'll see. But Merari and Gershon were given these wagons, but Kohath, they had to carry these They had to carry these gold pieces. They had to carry the dang ark. They had to carry the altar. Yes.
Do you know for how long they did?
I don't know how long the walks were.
Yeah.
Can't say. I can tell you it was in the desert. There's carrying anything in the damn desert is tough. When there ain't no water, you gonna start seeing. Listen, Most High, they were complaining getting from damn the Red Sea to Mount Sinai. They were tripping. Now, when they have all this extra heavy burdens now you got gold pieces and tabernacles and all kind of crap you lugging, you're going to see where Israel's heart was really at. I think it starts next week when they start showing how Israel has to deal when they're walking to Canaan, when they're finally making their descent to their land, and start seeing and revealing where Israel's heart is at. Okay? But before that, Israel can complain all they want, but the Most High ironed out and laid out everything for them to do. Everything was laid out, all the details. And even though it was tiring, the numbers were in the 2000s per man. So what the work was, per family. Merari, Gershon, and Kohath. So everything was still distributed evenly. It wasn't like it was one person was breaking his back, another person was skipping and chilling. There was enough work to split, enough manpower to split all the work up evenly.
The concept of work mentally is kind of perverted.
Yep.
We're so used to just being selfish,
Yep.
being left behind.
Mm-hmm.
This was it with unity.
It was with unity, and And I think that was why the Most High permitted the numbering of Israel to happen in the first place. Because normally the Most High wouldn't sit back here and allow us to number the people, unless we're dealing with some scenario where, for the purpose of the military and the purpose of the building of the nation was established. Okay? So, if anybody has a question, let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know. If I'm talking too much, let me know. Okay? Okay. Let's go. Let's continue.
Verse 49.
Numbers chapter 4, verse 49.
Come. Numbers chapter 4, verse 49. According to the commandment of the Lord, they were numbered by the hand of Moses, every one according to his service, and according to his burden. Thus were they numbered of him, as the Lord commanded Moses. Chapter 5. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel that they put out of the camp every leper, and every one that have an issue, and whosoever is defiled by the dead.
So now that we have all the Levite stuff taken care of, listen, now you're going to start seeing expanded levels of how the camp was situated. You had your tabernacle inside, then you had your 12 tribes around it, and then you had your unclean and your strangers. Don't forget, there was a mixed multitude that followed the 12 tribes of Israel. That mixed multitude was on the outside of the 12.
Oh.
They weren't hanging out with the Jews. And then we read last week, there was a clear pathway, a walkway for all the Jews to go through to intermingle with each other. But there was an outside space that the strangers or the nations were allowed to inhabit away from the Jews. And then the unclean, the individuals that were lepers, as you read later on about how the leper was really a curse of the Most High. To have a changing of pigment was a curse in the Heavenly Father's eyes. Whatever your pigment was, it was supposed to be there. To have those splotches and those different color changes, specifically the lighter color changes, to where there's blonde hair in between it, that was a curse in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. We're going to go into Leviticus. We're going to actually the Josephus to kind of explain about the leper just a bit. But the lepers couldn't be around because it was a curse. And the Most High didn't want anything accursed around the body. Now, hold this and go to Antiquities of the Jews. Antiquities of the Jews, Book 3. Book 3, Chapter 11, Paragraph 3 and 4.
Chapter 11.
It's Book 3, Chapter 11, Paragraph 3 and 4.
Okay. Where it say, he also ordered?
Yes.
Come. The Antiquities of the Jews, Book 3, Chapter 12. No, my fault. It's Chapter 11, right?
It's Book 3, Chapter 11, Paragraph 3.
Okay, come. Chapter 11 of the Purification, Paragraph 3.
1 second. Yeah, let's read that.
Come.
I had something. I must have got rid of it. Like an idiot. All right, let's read.
Read it. Come. He also ordered that
This is Moses ordering. Read on.
That those whose bodies were afflicted with leprosy and who had a gonorrhea should not come into the city.
So if you had some STDs, you had to get away from the damn campfire. You couldn't even be around the rest of the people. He didn't want any type of impurity in your system. So none of this. Anybody got the clap going on? Get out of here, man. You had to scram. Leprosy, all these impurities in the blood, in the system, in the spirit. What we're also realizing is that this leprosy in particular, was a curse from It was a curse that was reflected upon the skin. But that skin cursing was a reflection of the negativity in that person's spirit. Okay? If there was leprosy on your skin, that was the way that we recognized that a person was negative in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. So I went over it a few weeks ago. But if you were living wrong and you got that leprosy, you had to leave the camp, leave the exterior of where everybody was at, clean up, get yourself right, then present yourself back to the priest every week to determine if it changed. What do you think was going on when you was outside of the camp? You think he was getting some what's that strong soap that workers always use? Huh?
Fuller soap.
Fuller soap. Well, yeah, Fuller soap.
Remember that greenie?
Yeah. What's that damn soap? That's so called, man.
Mechanics use.
Yeah, those mechanic
you talking
soaps.
about that orange?
Not necessarily orange. It's a mechanic. Yeah.
Like clay almost.
Yeah.
Granules of sand.
Like O'Keefe's. Yeah. The point is, they weren't sitting back here scrubbing their skin, trying to take this leprosy off their skin. What they were doing was praying and fasting. They were praying and fasting for that week to ask the Most High to remove this curse from them, to work on changing what's inside of them. And once they worked on what was inside of them, the leprosy would leave. Or they had to stay on the outside of the camp. What was going on in their spirit? At the most, I didn't want that influence around. You know what the Most High shows also? He can give two craps about family and friends. What was the most important thing? Right and wrong, man. Living right. Because there were people who got that leprosy that were family and friends of people in the damn camp. Am I right or wrong? They were family and friends and connections, and they had associations amongst the nation. And none of that crap mattered. Only thing that mattered was right and wrong and keeping negative influences to spread and pollute the rest of the camp. This is how the Most High operates. These people who had leprosy, they just weren't some just mangy scoundrels who was walking around here just being negative. They had associations and connections. And the Most like, you know what, man? You're living negative. I'm going to curse you with this leprosy, knowing that the Most High set the system up. So if you had the leprosy, you got to get out of here. And maybe being separate would make you want to change. What does the scripture say? He that sins rebuke before all. So what? All may fear, right? The idea of this guy being separated should create the spirit of wanting to change yourself, and should bring the spirit of contrition on the person who's being negative. When you separate this negative away, the goal and the hope is for that person to change and get right and figure out what it is to please the Heavenly Father to get back on board. Yes.
If you break down the Hebrew, the word leprosy, it means troubling a person's appearance or understanding.
So the appearance is troubling because it reflects the person's spirit is troubled. On all the Most High did with leprosy is use something artificial or outward to show the world what's inside of a person. You're going to also see this when it comes about, there's going to be a chapter that talks about a wife that a man suspects is committing adultery, right? And it's going to go into what that man can do to reveal what's inside of a person. No different than leprosy. Leprosy is a revealing of what's inside of you. Once the leprosy leaves, it's revealed that you let go of the negative. If the leprosy remains, it proves there's something inside of you that you got to change out, that you have to overcome. Right. And a lot of times, people think whether it's leprosy or any of these things, it's not about looking down on the leper. It's about the leper realizing I got to change. What is it in me that the Most High is not happy with? That scripture we went over like last Monday, where it was in Luke where it says Christ didn't come. No, it was in John 3, verse 17, where it said Christ didn't come down to condemn, but to save. But a lot of times, people look at correction as condemnation. People look at the sting the Most High sends you or hits you on as condemnation. The sting is not condemnation unless you take it that way. The purpose of checking you and correcting you, the purpose of being made the leper, is to get you to be saved. It's to get this person to change. Why would the question will be, why does the Most High have to attack my flesh to get me to start looking at myself?
Understanding.
That's the real question. Why does Israel need such extreme circumstances to start thinking about the Most High? Because most of us don't even start reading and studying and coming to class unless your back is against the wall and you're about to lose something. Am I lying? Most Israel comes when the sky's falling. Sky's falling, I'll be here. If everything's good in my life, a lot of people don't come. It shows the nature of Israel, that we need extremes to keep us alert and to shake us out of our routine. So, let's continue in the Josephus. Let's start from the top, book 3, chapter 11, paragraph 3.
Paragraph 3. He also ordered that those whose bodies were afflicted with leprosy and who had gonorrhea should not come into the city. Nay,
the question would be, what the hell were people laying with to get gonorrhea back in those days? What were they tapping into to get that type of disease? That's just something to ask yourself in your head. Read on. He said, should not come into the city. City or camp. Camp was referred to as the city. Read on.
Should not come into the city. Nay, he removed the women when they had their natural purgations till the 7th day.
Listen, the Most High kept the women away out of the city. Even the women. He just said this. The women, when they were on their cycle, couldn't even be in the city for 7 days. What is it showing? The Most High was serious about keeping things clean, organized, pure. The women were defiled because the blood is sacred to the Heavenly Father. That was why. But the point is that the Most High was all about doing things decently and in order. Read on.
After which he looked on them as pure and permitted them to come in again.
He would listen. So when it meant leaving the camp, you had to get to the outside of the parameters of the city. The women, the lepers, everybody. Read on.
The law permits those also who had taken care of funerals to come in after the same manner.
So a man or a woman who went to a funeral, they were unclean for 7 days as well. And they had to leave the camp and be outside of the city for 7 days. Read on.
When this number of days is over, but if any continue longer than that number of days in a state of pollution, the law appointed the offering 2 lambs for a sacrifice, the one of which they are to purge by fire. And for the other, the priests take it for themselves.
So they said, if any continued longer than that number of days in the state of pollution, the law appointed, meaning I would imagine that if you stayed over 7 days in that pollution, then you had to offer 2 lambs in of sacrifice to come back into the camp. Read on.
In the same manner, do those sacrifice who have had the gonorrhea. But he that sheds his seed in his sleep, if he go down into cold water, has the same privilege with those that have lawfully accompanied with their wives. And for the lepers, he suffered them not to come into the city at all.
And so if you had leprosy, there was something really going on in your spirit that disconnected you from the Most High, to where you can't even come into the city, man, for nothing.
That's why the iron meant it wasn't just. It also meant understanding.
Iron?
Yeah, that Hebrew I was talking about, the Hebrew of the word leprosy.
Yeah.
The in characters, the iron.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just mean physical. It also means your understanding. Something's deeply wrong with your understanding.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because why would the Most High do that to any of His people? Give them that leprosy. It wasn't just some outward sickness. It was something sick in your head. And the Most High had to sit back here and curse you for your conduct. So you couldn't come into the city for nothing. You were just ostracized on the outside. Man, huh? So it says, read, and the lepers again.
And for the lepers, he suffered them not to come
Text
into
me that Hebrew name if you can.
And for the lepers, he suffered them not to come into the city at all, nor to live with any others, as if they were in effect dead persons.
He said they couldn't even live with anybody else. You were on your own. Once again, what was the purpose of keeping the leper completely ostracized? To where you couldn't even be around other lepers. The purpose was to sit back and reflect to see you. Now the problem with being alone is what?
Idleness.
Idleness, because you can take solitary scenarios one or two ways. You can sit back and read scriptures and work on yourself and break what's inside of you, or you do what?
Be depressed.
Go loco on the brain, man. Most people that have solitary confinement lose it. Most people, when you're just, all you have is your own thoughts to yourself, they start to lose it. But the goal of isolating these people was to get them to see themselves. There was something in them that was wrong. Okay? And the physical representation of a person being spiritually disconnected was the changing of colors and blotch change in your skin. The lighter blotch change in your skin. That was the way to show, the Most High showed Israel that they were disconnected to the Most High, that they were off. Read on.
As if they were in effect dead persons. But if anyone had obtained by prayer to the Most High the recovery from that distemper and had gained a healthful complexion again.
Hold on. So it said, but if anyone had obtained by prayer to the Most High the recovery from that distemper. That was the word that I had looked up a few days ago. A recovery of the distemper. I want to sit back and give me canine distemper. I didn't ask for canine distemper. Okay. Why would it give it like that? That doesn't make sense.
Definition is temper.
Yep. And I found it a few days ago. For some reason, I got rid of it.
Distemper.
It's got to be the right one. I don't want just any distemper. Anyway.
See, hold on. I got
what you got? What does it say? I know it if I hear it.
Okay.
What is it?
The first one is literary and
literary.
Literary.
Or literally.
Literally. An undue or unnatural temper or disproportionate mixture of parts.
Okay.
Disease, malady, indisposition.
Malady.
So is it a disproportionate what?
Indisposition, any morbid.
Read it from the top again.
Okay, disease.
A disproportionate mixture of parts. So obviously, spiritually, there was a disproportionate mixture of mindsets, parts inside of you. And for the Most High to show that there was a disproportionate way that we looked at things, He had a disproportionate blotches of skin tone and changed the skin tone of your body. There was disorganization in your mind. There was different pulls and desires in your spirit, and it reflected in your skin tone. What's that?
It say bad constitution of the mind.
Bad constitution of the mind. Yeah. You sent it to me, you texted it to me? You gave me a lot of them, honestly. Okay. A bad constitution of the mind. That's another one. If your mind, your outlook is negative, if your outlook was constituted wrong, you was gonna get cursed with that distemper, that changing of the skin tone. Okay? And with that being said, once again, I'm gonna say it again. Whatever that leprosy showed on the outside, there was the same thing inside. It was the outside adorning was reflected from the inside.
Wow, that last one.
What's that?
Distemper, number 1 at the bottom of the verb, to disease, to disorder.
Wait. Where you at? You sent it to me?
No, I didn't know it was more than the bottom.
Yeah, send it to me.
I'm sending it to you now. It says to disease, to disorder, to derange the functions of the body or mind.
He's telling you, he's telling you there's a reason that these people who had leprosy had to get the hell out of the camp. It wasn't just the most I was being mean and spiteful or being a cruel person. There was actual real issues. Okay. It says the verb part, right?
Yeah, number 1.
To disease, to disorder, this is distemper. To disease, to disorder, to derange the functions of the body and the mind. To deprive of temper or moderation. He's like the person that's sitting back here who has that leprosy spiritually has no moderation, no patience. He's diseased and disordered and deranged in the functions of the mind and body. Meaning there's something negative in them that is controlling them. And they have lost control of their spirit. So what is he saying also? If you've lost control of your spirit, the body can't help you to a degree. You have to be outside and work on that negative until you're able to control that demon inside of you. And what did it show you also? How was that person going to be able to sit back here and gain control of that demon? What did it say in the Josephus? It said, but if had anyone had obtained by prayer to the Most High, that person had to go into isolation and pray. And pray and pray and pray until he got control of his spirit.
Man, it's crazy because, like, one of my jobs is I teach on like gonorrhea, STIs, STDs, and they give you the pill. They tell you to wear a condom, stay away from people that have unsafe sexual practices and all that.
Yeah.
Doesn't really fix the issue because it's still out there spreading. But that's unheard of in medicine today, quote unquote medicine. To pray your disease away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you'll be calling crazy.
Yeah. Well, don't forget. This prayer aspect was about the leprosy.
Right.
The leprosy was where it says they had to sit back here and pray and almost have to be looked upon as one that's dead, completely isolated. And if they was going to obtain the recovery from that distemper, the most High had to sit back here and help fix that psychological disconnection.
Right.
Whatever's going on in your spirit, you're sitting back here, demons and spirits have inhabited you. It almost kind of goes into the power of what Christ did when he came back on earth, And he was sitting back here healing people with leprosy. With his virtue. He was sitting back here pulling off demons from people. He was sitting back, all these people with leprosy and distempers and insane outlooks, he was changing all these people's outlooks. That was one way how everybody was amazed. How did he pull this demon off this guy? This guy, he's called Legion. But we are many. He's pulling legions off people, demons off people, spirits off people. Whereas most men said, okay, he's got to keep on the outskirts of the city, man. He's too much. Don't forget, that guy Legion was living in a damn cave.
Right.
Nobody could fix him. Nobody could fix him. What he's showing you is that just mankind important verse, some people can't fix everyone. Some people with this level of distemper and leprosy have to pray and fast and ask the Most High to pull off whatever's on them before they can be maintenance with the rest of the body of the nation. Okay, now these are extreme cases, but that was what that leprosy represented. The people that were truly spiritually disconnected and sick. I need you to leave in 15 minutes, okay? But let's keep going.
The recovery from that distemper and had gained a healthful.
Nope. And had gained a what?
A healthful complexion again.
So them fixing that distemper, them overcoming that diseased mind and the deranged functions of the mind, or the disturbed mind, or an ill moderate mind, or an overboard temper, a person that's fixed that, or a malignant mindset, which is a deadly mindset. Once you can overcome that, the overcome of those spiritual issues came hand in hand with gaining a healthy complexion again. Okay, read on.
Such a one returned thanks to the Most High, with several sorts of sacrifices, concerning which we will speak hereafter.
Because it was surely the Most High that pulled off that demon off of you in order to come to be accepted back to the camp. So it wasn't just some outward skin issue. The outward skin issue reflected the internal issues that a man or woman had, to where they couldn't even, you know what it's showing you is that person's toxic spirit and personality would be an overall negative to the camp around it, to the city around it. The city couldn't handle that level of negativity for it to function in peace. So the Most High, like, in consideration to this person's negative spirit, I have to have fail-safes to keep those people away from the body who's trying to change, or have clear mindsets, or don't have demons at that level on them. Doesn't that make sense? That makes so much sense if you want to keep a city and a camp or a group of people protected and looked after. The ones who are just, that man can't help fix, you got to keep them away until they sit back here, pray and ask the Most High and petition the Most High to get right, and then they'll get right. But that's also up to the person. How many people, if they're sick, want to change and want to get healthy? A lot of people don't. What you gonna say? You're thinking something.
Man, I'm rewiring my brain over here, because we think of healing, at least me. I'm real heavy into the whole apothecary thing and all that, but it says in Ecclesiastes to also not neglect in prayer. At the end of all that, you fall into hands of the physician. Don't be ignorant of the things of the earth.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm reading this and I'm thinking about some people in my head that I've come across in my whatever many years in the truth. And there's certain people who need prayer.
Right, neglect not. Well, that's what Kyle was bringing out last night when he brought up the definition of virtue. It's not just virtue in plants, but it's also a quality a person can possess that can produce an effect in someone else or on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually possess virtue that can actually provide healing to someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't just come out of the earth. It's the prayer.
Yeah.
Right. The separation, changing your mindset,
mm-hmm.
adopting a completely different mindset actually changes and heals within out. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's crazy? For the people that had this leprosy, they had to want to pray.
Right.
They had to want to fix the things inside of them for the Most High to come and petition them to pull it off of them. How consistent did they have to pray? How much did they have to commit themselves to learning and studying before the Most High pulled that spirit off of them? That's crazy, man. It really is. But it shows you that one person needs time, but the rest of the body has to keep pushing forward. And everybody can't stop until this person makes a decision to fix it.
There's a responsibility on that person also.
That was the point.
Wow.
They have to take ownership to want to change and to pray and to control themselves before the rest of the priests could actually help them. Because listen, the priesthood, the process, the teaching was there. But they didn't want it. And that's why they had to sit back here. That's why the Most High had to remove them anyway. Until they're ready to change. Then they can come back and be accepted to get worked on. It just shows you if a person is not ready to change, the Most High is going to remove them and put them to the outskirts of things. Until they're ready to come into the fold and change. So you can't be healed. The words can't heal you until you're ready to be healed. So if I'm in a funk, not changing, going through my ups and downs, I'm putting myself out on the outskirts of the city. You can sit back here on today's situation and look at leprosy with just me just not changing. Me just not wanting to get a foothold of what's inside of me. And if I don't want to get a foothold of what's inside of me, all the class in the world ain't going to change me. I can be around class and Sabbath and this, but if I don't want to change, I'm going to keep being on the outside.
And that changes the perspective of other people too, meaning I shouldn't just not want you around because, hey, you're contagious. No, your mindset is contagious.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And you know what, you know I always say about that concept? It's not about keeping a person at a distance. That's not the problem. The problem is when a person is ready to change, do you hold the grudge? Because when a person is ready to change, you're supposed to embrace them. Because it was never personal in the first place. No, I'm not supposed to accept negative behavior and keep you around just because I've known you for X amount of years. That's not the case.
Right.
I'm supposed to sit back here and take a step away from you until you're ready to change. But once you're ready to change, bring you back in. Isn't that what the priest did?
Right, because this is about Israel at the end of the day.
Didn't the priest, listen, every week, if this dude's skin was garbage, what the priest say? Get your ass back out there in the woods. Because it wasn't like they were going to the city. The city was here. They said, get out of the city. You ain't go to the woods, Zach. Get your ass in the woods and figure it out for the week. And then come back. Oh, your skin's still busted up. You ain't changed. Get your ass back here in the woods. Light them fires. Do that damn man versus wild. Because you can't go and get supplies in the city. You can't interact with anybody in the city. You're on your own. You're quarantined. When you're ready to sit back here, fix your stuff, come back, we'll deal.
And it wasn't personal.
It wasn't. And they was like, oh man, your skin's clean. Come on in. Yeah. We got a spot waiting right here for you.
Right.
That is the nature of the Most High. But people sit back here and take the fact that I can't work with you. I got to keep you at a distance as a personal knock. It's not a knock. Work on what's inside of you. Come back. I'll deal with you. No biggie. Daps and hugs when your damn skin ain't blemished up. If it is, hey man, you know where you got to go. But think like you can't go in the city to get supplies.
Someone still has to take care of them.
Huh?
Someone still has to sacrifice for the individual.
No, what I'm saying is,
okay.
If I'm the guy with the leprosy, right. I can't go and buy and sell from nobody.
Right.
Everybody has to be like this. The problem with Israel and what Christ was teaching is that we look down on the leper. We looked down on the leper. We had hatred for the leopard. We had disgust for the leper. It wasn't about having disgust. It was about understanding that this person got a spiritual battle and they're sick. And then can I sit back here and be patient while they're working through their things? And when they're ready, can I love them and embrace them like nothing ever happened? That's the issue. That's the challenge. It's always waiting for an opportunity to see somebody get healthy. That's the challenge, and that's the lesson that we're supposed to give them. That gave me a class angle. I'm going to that. I'm gonna go on that because there's a lot of meat there that we have to isolate on forgiveness, mercy, and you can really explain it through the leprosy concept.
At the end of the day, all what you want is their healing.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. And keeping a separation until a person is ready enough to take the next level of medicine. What is also showing you there's different levels of medicine. And the different levels of medicine is based upon what? How much you're ready to receive it. How much you're motivated to embrace the medicine or the help or the solutions. It's also showing you that if you're not mature enough to handle it, you're not going to receive the medicine. Don't go over your head. It's not going to make any sense to you until you're ready to look for it, until you're hungry enough to search for it. Okay. Hopefully we got that online. So,
Paragraph 4.
Paragraph 4.
Whence one cannot but smile at those who say that Moses was himself afflicted with the leprosy when he fled out of Egypt.
Because they're also saying that Moses was afflicted with leprosy, because that was a verse in Exodus chapter 4. Remember Exodus 4? He put his hand in his shirt, in his bosom, took it out.
Oh, yeah.
But people would say that he was a leprous guy. That was just proof to show that the Most High was real. What it's also showing you is that even Josephus knew the Jews were men of color.
Right, but smile.
Exactly. Everybody can just laugh and think that Moses was a damn leper. Let's keep reading.
Come. And that he became the conductor of those who on that account left that country, and led them into the land of Canaan. For he had this been true, Moses would not have made these laws to his own dishonor.
Why would he sit back here and talk about leprosy when he was leprous? His hand is white as hell. Saying, yeah, y'all can't come around the camp. But I'm sitting here right next to the tabernacle on the east side, conducting ceremonies and going up to Sinai talking to the Most High, knowing damn well that leprosy meant I was disconnected to the Most High at the highest degree. Because first of all, everybody was sick. But the leprous cat was way detached and way separated from the Most High. He just was. Why would Moses teach that and then him being right in the dead center of things? Read on.
Which indeed it was more likely he would have opposed if others had endeavored to introduce them. And this the rather because there are lepers in many nations who yet are in honor, and not only free from reproach and avoidance, but who have been great captains of armies, and been entrusted with high offices in the commonwealth, and have had the privilege of entering into holy places and temples.
So what is it showing you also? That this concept with leprosy was an Israelite thing. This wasn't something that was supposed to be for the rest. The rest of the nations didn't adhere to it. This was how the Most High worked with Israel. This process of leprosy was about us. It wasn't about, Most High said the nations are belong to themselves. So how the Most High dealt with leprosy in us was different than how he dealt with leprosy in the rest of the world. Other people, other nations can have leprosy and they was fine.
Right.
And what he's also saying is the Romans were clean lepers.
Right.
He was in Rome writing this.
They glorify disease and sickness almost these days. Like
Yeah.
if you're a leper, they make you a little mean.
They're like models actually
They're
too.
models.
That are walking around here with all these splotches.
They empower you. You're special.
You're a unicorn.
You're right. Yeah.
You're special.
No, that means you need to be right.
Exactly. Well, in our community it is.
Right.
Now in Rome, it was a nation of clean lepers.
But in Rome.
The Edomites were a nation of clean lepers that were allowed to come around the nation because they were one color. But what he's saying is that amongst our culture, it was a no-no. Amongst our people, it was a no-no. Read on.
So that nothing hindered, but if either Moses himself or the multitude that was with him had been liable to such a misfortune in the color of his skin.
He said having that leprosy was a misfortune. It was a misfortune because there was something inside of you that had to be addressed. There was something inside of you that had to be dealt with that wasn't dealt with. Okay, that wasn't dealt with. Okay, so read on.
God reads, he might have made laws about them for their credit and advantage, and have laid no manner of difficulty upon them.
He said if he had this leprosy, he would have sat back here and had the power to justify being the leper. Read on.
Accordingly, it is a plain case that it is out of violent prejudice only that they report these things about us. But Moses was pure from any such distemper.
He was pure from any outward distemper or spiritual distemper. He was pure of mind, pure of heart. You think the Most High will communicate to a man that had all that distemper? You think the Most High will let somebody see his hinder parts if he had that level of disconnection to the Heavenly Father? No, not even close. Read on.
And lived with countrymen who were pure of it also, and thence made the laws which concern others that had the distemper.
Mm-hmm.
He did this for the honor of the Most High. But as to these matters, let every one consider them after what manner he pleases.
Okay, so we're gonna let that go, and
Time for me to
let's get back. Yeah, let's get back to yeah, it's time for you to go. We're in. I'm gonna need the guy, if you can help out with this reading. Yeah, my wallet. It's time for you to roll. I think we're in Numbers 5, right? We're in Numbers 5 and verse 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start about chapter 5 again.
Nagaha, Shah, Shabbatah, Ban, Shemai 1, Ban, Yashala.
Nagahab. Shah Shabbatah, Ban Shemai 1, Ban Yashal. Imagine. Right? Yahweh Ba Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, Barakatah.
Yeah, it's not here. Okay, so let's get Numbers 5 and 1 from the top again.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they put out of the camp every leper, and every one that hath an issue, and whosoever is defiled by the dead.
So we understand that if there was an issue, if a woman was on her cycle, if there was a leper, we know that person had a distemper of body and mind. And whoever is defiled by the dead, whoever was in a funeral, everybody had to leave the city. The Most High wanted to let us know that he wasn't about any unpureness on any level. Read on.
Verse 3. Both male and female shall ye put out. Without the camp shall ye put them.
Outside of the city, they were supposed to be. Read on.
That they defile not their camps, in the midst whereof I dwell. And the children of Israel did so, and put them out without the camp. As the Most High spake unto Moses, so did the children of Israel. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, when a man or a woman shall commit any sin that men commit, to do a trespass against the Most High, and that person be guilty, then they shall confess their sin which they have done, and he shall recompense his trespass with the principal thereof, and add unto it the fifth part thereof, and give unto him against whom he have trespassed. But if the man have no kinsman to recompense the trespass unto, let the trespass be recompensed unto the Most High, even to the priest, beside the ram of the atonement, whereby an atonement shall be made for him. And every offering of all the holy things of the children of Israel, which they bring unto the priest, shall be his.
So what is it also showing you? It's showing you recompense, or how to make it right with the Most High if you're defiled. We just talked about from verse 1 all the way to verse 4. If there's an issue, if you're a leper, or if you're defiled with the dead, you have to be outside of the camp, outside of the city. Now we're in verse 6. It's a reminder that if you've sinned, you've done wrong, if you've trespassed, you have to add a fifth of whatever you took from somebody, or however you've damaged them, you have to give them a fifth part more than what you've taken. He's showing you about making things right to get back on the Most High side. Then it said if there's nobody to give that fifth part to, give it to the priest. What you gonna say?
No, doesn't that show Most High's about weight and measures? Regardless, there has to be a recompense. There has to be something to make right. Even if there isn't a person or a family member, then you got to make right through the priest of the Most High.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. And even on the level of dealing with the leper, it's still about. I'm still harping on that damn leper part because that really hit me. It's still that whatever's going on in that person, they have to make it right with the Most High to the priest before you can move forward. You're going to be on the outskirts. You're going to be on the outskirts until you make things right. Whatever's going on inside of you, you got to make it right before the Most High can even start working with you again. You're going to be on that outskirts until you get the Most High that fifth part. And the fifth part is the extra, that change inside of you. When you change, everything will work out from there. Okay, let's keep going.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 10. And every man's hallowed things shall be his. Whatsoever any man giveth the priest, it shall be his. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner.
So if she sits back here and commits trespass on her husband with somebody else, and nobody knows what's going down, it was on the down low. Nobody has to know. Read on. That's exactly what this is.
A little secret.
Yeah. It's R. Kelly all damn day long.
That's how we should keep.
Yeah, read on.
And the spirit of jealousy come upon him.
That's what happened to Mr. Big. There was a spirit of jealousy on Mr. Big. He knew something was going on. Anyway, what is also showing you is that a man, it's nothing wrong for a man to have a spirit of jealousy on him. Sometimes that's how the Most High communicates to him. Sometimes it's the fact he was just tripping and being in his head. But you can't sit back here and negate what a man feels. And this is what the Most High is opening up an opportunity. Because if there's jealousy in the house from the man to the wife, that can wreck an entire marriage. That can wreck an entire marriage if that husband suspects the wife of something. Okay? And the Most High has this situation in here, not just to punish the wife if she's negative, but this situation that we're about to read about protects the wife also. If she's innocent, then guess what happens? Now that spirit of jealousy can leave the husband and the family can be right again. It's not just about destroying the woman, it's about protecting the wife also. Because how many times, what if the woman never did nothing and this husband still feels jealous?
That's what they're taught. They're taught to do that today. Like, they ignore it. Like, oh, you tripping.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's just you. You ain't trusting your woman, brother. You gonna lose her anyway, brother. Okay, kind. But what he's showing you is that spirit of jealousy has to be dealt with. The point is this. This chapter in chapter 5, this is about making sure the righteousness is brought to the light. If the wife is sneaking on her husband, it needs to get brought out. If the wife is being faithful, it needs to get brought out so it can be dealt with and everybody can move forward and be at peace with each other. Let's keep going.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 14. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled, then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal.
Okay, so once again, if he's jealous because she's done something, or if he's jealous and he's just in his head, this has to be dealt with. So the man brings his wife to the priest, and there's an offering for her. Read on.
He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance.
So the Most High had so many things set up to protect the nation of Israel, to protect families, to protect the people that are trying to change. This government that was set up covered everything. Read on.
Verse 16. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Most High. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it into the water.
So they get some holy water and some dirt from the floor of the tabernacle.
Yeah.
So I guess it's holy ground. Okay, read on.
And the priest shall set the woman before the Most High, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causeth the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall say unto the woman, the Most High make thee a curse and an oath among thy people. When the Most High doth make thy thigh to rot, and thy belly to swell, and this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels, to make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen.
So this is putting her in a position to where if she's lying, she better say it now.
Right.
But if she says it, she's gonna die anyway.
Said it come.
So if it says if she drinks it, before she drinks it, she has to own up to the terms of the drink. If you drink it, you're saying you didn't do nothing, and that you accept the curse of having your inwards torn up and rotting. If you're saying you did nothing, then there's nothing going to happen to you. But if you did something, you're going to get punished. Well, but the Most High is fair and just. If the sister did nothing and everything's cool, then you know what? She's cool.
So pride, right? So it's, at the end of the day, it is whether her pride is going to get in the way of the truth.
Are you going to sit back and come straight? And either way, if she did it, if she trespassed it, she's going to die anyway. She's going to get stoned. So do you get stoned, or do you get stoned and your inwards rot? But at least the truth is out. And what's more important than all the punishments was the fact that the truth was out, so the husband and the wife can reconcile, because he was tripping, or he realized she did step out on him and he can move on and she can get dealt with. It's still about that cloud of doubt, that cloud of not knowing can eat away at any relationship. The Most High wanted to make sure that cloud of doubt is eliminated.
Will Smith.
So yeah, there ain't no entanglements. That thigh would have been rotted out many years ago. It wasn't just that time. All right, let's not trip. We're going to hold this. We're going to get back to that. Let's go to the Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, Book 3, Chapter 11, Paragraph 6.
Josephus, Book 3, Chapter 11, Paragraph 6.
Paragraph 6. Read that.
But if anyone suspect that his wife had been guilty of adultery, he was to bring a 10th deal of barley flour. They then cast 1 handful to the Most High, and gave the rest of it to the priest for food.
So pretty much, hey man, can you do this service for me? Read on.
One of the priests set the woman at the gates that are turned towards the temple, and took the veil from her head, and wrote the name of the Most High on parchment, and enjoined her to swear that she had not at all injured her husband, and to wish that if she had violated her chastity, her right thigh might be put out of joint.
Ooh.
That
So first of all, she's asking the Most High to sit back and do this to her. She's asking the Most High to do this to her, and it said, read that part again.
And enjoined her to swear that she had not at all injured her husband, and to wish that if she had violated her chastity,
to wish it. Read on.
Her right thigh might be put out of joint.
Her right thigh get put out of. Do you know how excruciating that is?
And you see, it said the right, not the left.
Yeah, the right thigh, because that's what it's supposed to be your right side. Your righteous side is going to get out of whack. Read on.
That her belly might swell, and that she might die thus.
So that she's going to die from this. She was going to die. Remember we talked about she was going to die anyway. But there was going to be the dislodging of the right thigh, and that she was going to sit back here and die from the insides rotting away.
It takes time.
It's excruciating too. You know, another person's insides or bowels were breaking down. It was Antiochus.
Yeah.
Epiphanes.
He like it fell out of him.
He smelled like just straight literal death.
Right.
And crap and foulness. To where he had to sit back and be away from all the soldiers. He says, so he's saying if this woman is lying, her belly's going to rot, she's going to die. And that right hip is going to get dislodged. And she has to ask for it, wish for it. Whew. Read on.
That her belly might swell, and that she might die thus. But that if her husband, by the violence of his affection and of the jealousy which arose from it, had been rashly moved to this suspicion, that she might bear a male child in the 10th month.
That's awesome. So if she's right, the Most High will bless her with a son too, man. For her taking that risk and going through all that humility or all of that scenario where she's suffering, the Most High will bless her with a male child. If she didn't do anything wrong. That's fair and just. That's fair and just. Wow. Read on.
Now when these oaths were over, the priest wiped the name of the Most High out of the parchment, and wrung the water into a vial. He also took some dust out of the temple, if any had happened to be there, and put a little of it into the vial, and gave it her to drink, whereupon the woman, if she were unjustly accused, conceived with child, and brought it to perfection in her womb. But if she had broken her faith of wedlock to her husband, and had sworn falsely before the Most High, she died in a reproachful manner. Her thigh fell off from her, and her belly swelled with a dropsy.
We got to find out what the hell a dropsy is. That is real.
Look it up.
I'm looking for it. Hell yeah. Dropsy? Her belly swelled with a dropsy.
Some kind of inflammation.
It says an old term for the swelling of soft tissues due to the accumulation of excess water. In years gone by, a person might have said to have had dropsy. Today, one will be more descriptive and specify the cause. Thus, the person might have edema due to congestive heart failure. Damn. Let me see.
I sent you one too.
Let's say dropsy of the stomach. Let me see.
I work at a hospital. I see.
Oh, that's it?
Edema, it looks very disgusting.
Does it?
Yeah. It's really like real swollen.
The stomach?
Like stomach, it can be the leg, wherever they have it. It's not very pretty.
Does it turn colors?
It can.
Oh.
They have pictures on Google where you can like index like the skin. You know when you swell up,
yeah.
You push it in,
yeah.
And it leaves it indented.
Yeah,
oh.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That looks gross.
Oh man. So dropsy is not cool. Edema is not cool.
No.
sent another.
In medicine, an unnatural collection of water
Yeah.
in a part of the body, proceeding from a greater effusion of serum by the exhaling arteries than the absorbents can take up. It occurs most frequently in persons of lax habits or in bodies debilitated by disease. The dropsy takes different names according to the part affected, as the sites of dropsy of the abdomen, hydrocephalus or water in the head, anasarca or water swelling over the whole body. Let me see.
Sometimes they have to go in and drain.
Dropsy of the abdomen. Let me see. I'm just going to type this up. Of the abdomen. Golly.
Said it fell off.
Was that?
It said it.
The hip fell off.
Yeah, the leg. What you said?
You said the hip?
Her thigh fell off.
Thigh.
Thigh fell off.
Huh?
That whole leg's gone, man.
What was it? The hip? It was the right one. It was the right hip detached. Then the thigh fell off.
It said the thigh fell off.
It said the Bible said the rotting of the thighs.
So it's like a rotten in person, basically. Understand by rotten.
Yeah,
you're rotting while you're living.
Yeah,
if you get like gangrene, they end up having to chop it off anyway.
Yeah,
so it's got to come
Oh.
off.
This one just deteriorates, right?
Yeah, it just fell off on its own.
Fell off on its own.
What's on the outside of it.
Oh, that is a hell of a curse.
Imagine the pain for that.
But it also shows the Most High understands jealousy. The Most High understands jealousy. And he allowed this, he would allow this sister who's lying. First of all, don't forget, they said that the priest had to write the Most High's name on parchment as an oath to the Most High. And then they wiped out the name of the Most High once she sat back here. And I want to make sure I'm saying this right.
Read it again?
Yeah, read it from now when these oaths were over.
Okay. 272. Now when these oaths were over, the priest wiped the name of the Most High out of the parchment and wrung the water into a vial.
So did they sit back here and they wiped the name of the Most High with water? And they soaked this parchment up with water to wipe out the name, and they wrung it out?
It says it up higher. One of the priests set the woman at the gates that had turned towards the temple and took the veil from her head and wrote the name of the Most High on parchment. So she took that that was written on parchment. Then
she wrote the name of the Most High. Did they write it or she wrote it? Let me see. No, the priest did. And then she swore. And then at the bottom there it says, the priest wiped the name of the Most High out of the parchment and wrung the water into the vial.
Maybe they dipped it?
That's what I'm saying. I think they dipped the parchment in the water. And they wrung the water. They wiped out the parchment's name in the parchment and wrung out the water that was in that parchment into the vial.
Right. Where she
drank it.
Right, and she after she made the oath.
Yes.
Like that. That's almost. I don't want to get too.
It's sealed in blood almost.
Yeah, it went.
You sealed this in.
Right.
It was written. You vowed it. Now it has to be wiped out.
You're going to drink your
words.
Or honesty. Drink your words.
You're gonna drink your. You're gonna eat your words.
Eat your words.
You're gonna eat your words. You're gonna drink it.
If it's true.
You vow to the Most High that this is true. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. You eating these words.
Hear your words.
You're drinking these words.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's crazy, bro.
It tells you not to make a vow to the Most High.
That you can't keep.
You can't go sit there.
That's amazing. And reading this combined with that gives it a lot more clarity, for me at least. That's amazing.
That's a true serum.
That is the ultimate true serum. But you know what the crazy thing is? The Most High is a jealous power. And he's fair. And he understands exactly what's needed to establish justice. You know, because the Most High is all about justice. And doing and killing that jealousy. He said, listen, if you didn't do it, Listen, the next time y'all make love, you're gonna get pregnant. He said in 10 months, you have a kid. That means within a few weeks after y'all start dealing, you're gonna be pregnant, you're gonna be blessed, you're gonna be honored. But if you don't, your thigh is gonna rot, your hip's gonna detach on your right hip's gonna detach from the socket, and your stomach's gonna swell, and everything inside of you is gonna rot out. Good night.
And it shows it also wasn't unnatural for a man to feel jealousy, whether it was warranted or not.
Exactly. It was more than understood. And the Most High understood it, and he backed us, but he also backed the innocency of the wife.
Right.
It was both.
It even tells you jealousy is the spirit of man.
Yes. The Most High is jealous.
His name is jealous.
Yes. Did we finish that in there?
No, we did
Okay.
not. We're at the end. I'll read 273 again. 273. But if she had broken her faith of wedlock to her husband, and had sworn falsely before the Most High, she died in a reproachful manner. Her thigh fell off from her, and her belly swelled with a dropsy. And these are the ceremonies about sacrifices, and about the purifications thereto belonging, which Moses provided for his countrymen. He also prescribed the following laws to them.
Okay. Now we let that go. That's real though. Let's get back to Numbers chapter 5.
Verse 23.
Yes, verse 23.
Can you imagine if that happens today?
Oh, there'd be a lot of broken hip thigh women.
Be a lot of thighs in the streets.
Lot of hips broken.
Thighs in the streets.
Lot of thighs that fell off in the trash bin. Straight up.
Is that her? Is that her thigh?
Yeah, exactly. You'll see the tattoo on top of it. A rotted tattoo.
He got a title. He got a paw print. I know.
It's a paw print.
I'm sorry.
Yes, those are real things. Anyway, let's keep going.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 23. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causeth the curse, and the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter.
So it says, verse 23, the priest shall write out these curses in a book, write the name of the Most High, blot them out with bitter water. The water is used to take out the writing in the book. And then you squeeze the water out and they drink that water. Okay, read on.
Verse 25. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Most High, and offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take an handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar, and afterward shall cause the woman to drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
And when he have made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that, if she be defiled, and have done trespass against her husband, that the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. And her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people.
She's going to stink. She's going to be gross. It's going to be the worst thing ever. The question is, how many of these things had to happen for a woman just to sit back and confess that they did it and just take the stoning? The stoning would be better than this, man. The stoning would be better than this.
I think I would prefer stoning.
I'm telling you. Sheesh. Right? Stoning's bad too, man.
It's quicker than your thigh accumulating moisture all this time and rotting.
That means your insides are just rotting from the inside out. That's where the swelling comes from. When a person dies, their whole body swells, right? The insides are just rotting and swelling from the inside. That's where the swelling is coming from. There's a rotting from the inside out.
Yeah, be around your people every day with that too.
And being embarrassed. That was the one that took that drink and she was off. Anyway, let's keep going.
Verse 28. And if the woman be not defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed.
Mm-hmm.
This is the law of jealousies. When a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled, or when the spirit of jealousy cometh upon him, and he be jealous over his wife, and shall set the woman before the Most High, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity.
If she's off. This is a way that a man doesn't sit back here and just assume she's doing something and take matters into his own hands, and there's blame on him. And then if she's guilty, she's cursed. If not, she gets blessed with the child. Everybody wins if she didn't do anything. But righteousness had to be established on earth, and that was what it was always about, doing things the right way. So let's go chapter 6.
Keep going.
Yes, sir.
Numbers chapter 6, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When either man or woman should separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Most High, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes, or dry.
So what now he's talking about a person who takes a Nazarite vow and who makes a decision to separate themselves unto the Most High. Now, an idea of separating yourself from the Most High physically was how the Most High separated Levi from the rest of the tribes. And Levi was separated from the tribes to just perform the service of the Most High. Now, the individual Nazarite is making a decision that they want to get closer to the Heavenly Father. What it's also showing you is, in order to get closer to the Heavenly Father, or closer, a man or woman has to be more acquainted with what? Denying themselves of things that make them happy, or things that make them comfortable. Because the Nazarite vow is just about denying yourself of certain fleshly appetites that a person might want. Whether it's strong drink or wine, what's the purpose of drinking spirits?
Bring joy.
Relax, joy, taking your mind off, make merry, take your mind off of pressure, stress, life, whatever the hell's going on. Heavy heart. So what it's saying is, he's saying this person who commits that Nazarite vow has made a decision to be that much more in tune with the Heavenly Father, and to be more potent, and sit back and to eliminate anything or more things that could get in the way of their relationship with the Heavenly Father. Okay? Because now if I'm stressed, if I have a heavy heart, what do I do now? I cleave more to the Heavenly Father. Now if I'm sitting back here stressed out, instead of being married, let me find happiness and merriness in cleaving to the Heavenly Father, versus using physical or carnal motivations to bring me joy. That's what the Nazarite vow was really about. Getting closer to the Heavenly Father. Let's continue.
Verse 4. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of the vow of his separation there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separated himself unto the Most High. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow.
Now, it's also showing that this vow doesn't have to be a lifelong vow. You can vow for a period of time and stop. Whenever you sit back and set your start time, you set your end time, you finish it and you stop, and you can go about your day. But when you're doing it, you have to let your hair grow. Don't cut your hair. Don't drink anything, wine, strong drink, nothing. Read on.
Verse 6. All the days that he separated himself unto the Most High, he shall come at no dead body.
And he's also not supposed to touch any dead bodies. Read on. Or go to funerals. Read on.
He shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, for his brother, or for his sister when they die.
So he can't go to even close relatives. He can't go to he or she can't go to close relatives' funerals. If I'm not mistaken, the high priest could go to direct families' funerals, just not secondary families' funerals. So this person that does the Nazarite vow has to go even harder than a priest. Read on.
Because the consecration of his power is upon his head. All the days of his separation, he is holy unto the Most High. And if any man die very suddenly by him, and he hath defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day shall he shave it.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for him, for that he sinned by the dead, and shall hallow his head that same day.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall consecrate unto the Most High the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. But the days that were before shall be lost, because his separation was defiled.
Mm-hmm. So he has to start over. He has to start that process over again. If by any chance a person died right next to him, he will make his offering to the Most High and restart that vow again. Read on.
Verse 13. And this is the law of the Nazarite when the days of his separation are fulfilled. He shall be brought unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall offer his offering unto the Most High, 1 he-lamb of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year, without blemish, for a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish, for peace offerings. And a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil,
Mm-hmm.
and their meat offering and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Most High, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Most High, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of the head of his separation, and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite, after the hair of his separation is shaven. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Most High. This is holy for the priest, with the waved breast and heaved shoulder. And after that the Nazarite may drink the wine. This is the law of the Nazarite who had vowed, and of his offering unto the Most High for his separation, beside that his hand shall get, according to the vow which he vowed, so he must do after the law of his separation.
Done.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel.
Hold tight. Read on. Saying unto them, right?
Saying unto them.
Let's go now back to Antiquity to the Jews. I think it's book, double check. I think it's book 12. I mean, book 3, chapter, I'm sorry. It's book 3, chapter, damn, it's a lot of pages now. I'm wrong. Scratch that. It's not book 3. It is book 4. Book 4. Book 4, chapter 4, paragraph 4. Book 4, chapter 4, paragraph 4. And it is a corner, but I think it's in the middle, because
72.
Moreover, yes. Yes, moreover. We're gonna read the rest of that paragraph. Once again, it's book 4, Antiquity to the Jews, book 4, chapter 4, paragraph 4, the middle of the paragraph. What number was it? What?
72.
72. Okay, let's read that.
Moreover, when any have made a sacred vow, I mean those that are called Nazarites, that suffer their hair to grow long, and use no wine, when they consecrate their hair and offer it for a sacrifice, they are to allot that hair for the priest to be thrown into the fire.
That's after their time is done. That's after their vow is done. Read on.
Such also as dedicate themselves to the Most High as a korban, which denotes what the Greeks call a gift, when they are desirous of being freed from that ministration, are to lay down money for the priest, 30 shekels if it be a woman, and 50 if it be a man. But if any be too poor to pay the appointed sum, it shall be lawful for the priest to determine that sum as they think fit. And if any slay beasts at home for a private festival, but not for a religious one, they are obliged to bring the maw and the cheek or breast and the right shoulder of the sacrifice to the priest. With these, Moses contrived that the priest should be plentifully maintained, besides what they had out of those offerings for sins, which the people gave them, as I have set it down in the foregoing book. He also ordered that out of everything allotted for the priests, their servants, their sons, their daughters, and their wives should partake, as well as themselves, excepting what came to them out of the sacrifices that were offered for sins. For of those, none but the males of the family of the priest might eat. And this in the temple also, and that the same day they were offered.
Okay. That didn't go too heavy into it. I thought it would give more, but that's fine. It just broke down the Nazarite vow. So now we're back at Numbers chapter 6, verse 23 again. You go to 23 again?
Yeah. Numbers chapter 6, verse 23. Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, the Most High bless thee, and keep thee. The Most High make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Most High lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Okay, now we're going to switch readers. This chapter 7 is long. Numbers chapter 7. So thought one. Same here, bro. Cracking and crunching.
Yeah. Tahwan Raha, Shal Shabbatah, Ban Yasha'ala, Ban Ashar.
Thawam Racha, Shah Shabbatah, Ban Ashar, Ban Yashal. Imagine. Right? Yahweh Hashem Yashab Rakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yashar Rakatah.
We're good, man.
Are we over here?
No, wherever you're comfortable. If you need to sit, sit. All right. Numbers chapter 7.
Alright, Numbers chapter 7 and verse 1. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle, and had anointed it, and sanctified it, and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed them, and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them, that were numbered, offered.
Okay, so listen, Nagaha, we're going into that point you were talking about. So after everything was set up, after Moses set the tabernacle, anointed it, sanctified it, set up the instruments, had all the people numbered, everything was ready to go. Those 12 princes, which were the 12 heads of all the tribes of Israel, made a decision to offer and help out the priest in what they had going on. Okay, read on.
Verse 3. And they brought their offerings before the Most High, 6 covered wagons, and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princesses, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle.
So each prince brought, it said a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. So each of the princes brought an ox, and for every 2 princes there was 1 wagon brought. Read on.
Verse 4. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service.
So I talked about, there you go, this is it now, how they offered it. Verse 2 says, read verse 2 again so everybody can get it. We're back in Numbers 7 and 2.
Numbers chapter 7 and verse 2. That the princes of Israel's heads of the houses of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offerings before the Most High, 6 covered wagons, and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle.
So this came from the kindness of their heart. And this was after everything was set in motion. Moses did all the numbering and the organizing and the planning for the people. Okay? Read on.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen, and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon, according to their service.
So I would imagine it takes 2 oxen to run 1 wagon. So Gershon, which had all that cloth and all the woven materials, had 2 wagons to transport all this stuff. So it wasn't such a physical burden on them. Read on.
Verse 8. And 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari.
Merari had the heavier stuff. They had all that wood, man. So they needed 4 oxen to transport all the stuff from the tabernacle, for the wood, the joints, all those heavy pieces that established the barrier of the actual tabernacle. Read on.
According unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest.
So once again, Ithamar ran those 2 tribes, or those 2 families, and orchestrated the service of it and how they ran their logistics. Read on.
But unto the sons of Kohath he gave none.
He didn't give the sons of Kohath any of the oxen. They had to carry that gold stuff on their own. Read on.
Because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulders.
Kohath had to sit back and carry all the gold. Carry the gold candlesticks and all that stuff. Or to be specific, they carried it. For most of these items, they put those gold staves, those gold poles in them. Whether it was the altar, whether it was the Ark of the Covenant, whether it was that table of showbread, you could put the staves inside it and carry it and lift it. That makes sense? Right. Or if they were just golden pieces, they would have to carry it in their backpacks. Okay? But the bearing on the shoulders is here. And there were 2 men in it the whole time. Yes, sis?
Was that to keep them from becoming greedy with the gold?
No, it was about they were precious items.
Right. It's more care, right?
You had to take more care with these gold pieces and the altar, and you take too many risks having some oxen carry it. And what if it falls off of the wagon? What if these precious items fall? He wanted the men to sit back and carry it. It was their responsibility. It was their burden. Okay. Just imagine they would have put the ark on a wagon. Right. And they sit back here and go on some bumpy terrain, and it falls off. If some wood falls off, it can be repaired.
Right.
If it was the ark, or if it was the candlesticks of light, if it was the altar of incense, the table of showbread, those things, or that laver, that copper basin to sit back and wash your hands and your feet, that had to be carried.
I was going to ask that. I didn't want to, maybe after class, but I didn't want to potentially ask the question, but it seems like it's taken away
No,
from the other pieces.
no.
Like that was one as special as these, but I guess it was. I mean,
And when it broke down a few chapters ago, most of these items had the spaces where you could put the staves inside of it, so you can carry it, because they still weren't supposed to touch them. The Kohathites weren't supposed to touch these items. The only people who were able to wrap them and prep them was Eleazar, the high priest, or the son of the high priest, who eventually became the high priest. But Eleazar had to sit back and make sure the wrapping of these items was set up. And then the other Kohathites were the ones who were in charge of lifting and carrying these things.
could it even be like the Most High won't give you more than you can bear? So this, this is the appropriate amount of burden that's fit for every man. Meaning, you need these oxen, you can bear this on your shoulder.
Exactly. That, and he wanted special, careful attention on those gold pieces. Kohath was the one that had to deal with the inside of the tabernacle, and he valued the inside more than anything. And those items inside had to be treated very delicately. Okay, let's keep going.
Numbers chapter 7 and verse 10. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offerings before the altar. And the Most High said unto Moses, They shall offer their offerings, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon, the son of Aminadab of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels. After the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering.
So listen, that's pretty heavy right there. A silver charger, I don't know what the hell a silver charger is, but to be that many shekels had to have some weight to it. Okay? And all these items, these bowls, had nothing but fine flour and oil mingled also, which had to be carried. Read on.
1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nahshon, the son of Aminadab. On the second day, Nethanel, the son of Zuar, prince of the Issachar, did offer. He offered for his offering 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 spoon of gold of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was an offering of Nethanel, the son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, the son of Helon, prince of the children of Zebulun, did offer.
Now, these first 3 tribes were set up on the east side of the city. Judah in the middle, Issachar up north, and the south was Zebulun on the east of the tabernacle. Read on.
His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels. After the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliab the son of Helon. On the 4th day, Eleazar, the son of Sheduir, prince of the children of Reuben, did offer.
So Reuben was on the south. They carried the south base. Judah carried the east because they were one of the strongest. That was actually the largest military force of all the 12 tribes. They manned the east. Reuben was the head of the south, and then it keeps going. Then it goes to the people that partnered with Reuben on the side. Well, let's keep going. Let's read on.
Verse 31. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eleazar, the son of Shedur. On the 5th day, Shelumiel, the son of Zurishad.
And I'm sorry, these silver chargers were plates. And that's what Nagahai just showed me right here. They was giving a lot of plates with shekels and money on there to kind of finance the priest. Okay? Continue. I'm sorry.
That's right. 36. On the 5th day, Shelumiel, the son of Zurishadai, prince of the children of Simeon, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shelumiel, the son of Zurishadai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, prince of the children of Gad, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, a silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Deuel.
What you're also seeing is that all the tribes, this was when all the tribes were united and willing to sit back here and do things according to the way the Most High wanted it. When you read in chapter 7, verse 1, Moses had already set up the tabernacle. He had everything ready for the anointing. He had everything ready for the altar. Everything was ready to go. A few chapters before, the tabernacle was consecrated. Everything was set in order. Everybody was numbered. The armies were numbered. The living quarters were numbered. Everything was set up. Now it was time for each prince to give their offering to the priest. They had their sin offering. The sin offering was for the entire tribe. The peace offering was from the entire tribe. All these gifts were gifts that represented the entire tribe making an offer to the Levite priests to start stacking up what they needed for their families. Because don't forget, the sin offerings were only to be eaten by the men. The rest of the families had to be covered. So all these offerings was being set up to supply all the different families of the Levites and to sit back here and set up their storage and get them covered for a while to get them started. And this is an offering for all of them. All the tribes kind of pitched in to help out the Levites. Let's keep going.
Verse 48. On the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, prince of the children of Ephraim, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elishama, the son of Ammiud. On the 8th day, offered Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, prince of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering.
Mosiah is thorough as heck. I'm reading the same things over and over again. Each tribe. Listen, that's in the 79 verses of it. No, I'm sorry, 89 verses of it. Yeah, 89. Let's continue.
1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. On the 9th day, Abidah, the son of Gideoni, prince of the children of Benjamin, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl, 70 shekels after the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideoni. Of the 10th day, Ahaziah, the son of Ammishaddai, prince of the children of Dan, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahaziah, the son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Okran, prince of the children of Asher, offered. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Pagiel, the son of Okran. On the 12th day, Anirah, the son of Enan, prince of the children of Naphtali, offered. His sin offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof. Sorry?
You said sin offering.
Oh, his offering was 1 silver charger, whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels for full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Ahirah, the son of Enan.
Con.
Verse 84. This was the dedication of the altar in the day when it was anointed by the princes of Israel. 12 chargers of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold. Each charger of silver weighed 130 shekels. Each bowl 70. All the silver vessels weighed 2,400 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. The golden spoons were 12, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece, after the shekel of the sanctuary. All the gold of the spoons was 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offerings were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12, with their meat offerings, and the kid of the goats for sin offerings 12. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offerings were 24 bullocks, the ram 60, the he goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar after that it was anointed.
God.
Verse 89. And when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of testimony, for between the 2 cherubims, and he spake unto him.
So it says Moses went into the tabernacle to speak to the Most High. Because don't forget, Moses used to have to walk all the way up to Mount Sinai to communicate with the Most High. Now Moses, all he had to do was sit back here and communicate to the Most High in the Holy of Holies. And the Most High will give him all the instructions necessary. So this leads into the next chapter, which we're not going to read today. But once again, the Most High is about being thorough and detailed. And all this information was leading up to eventually us being back on the move and heading up to Canaan. But we had to sit back here and make our offerings, set up the sanctuary, set up the structure of how the camp was supposed to function, set up the structure about who was allowed in the camp, who was supposed to be outside the camp, and all the specifics about how to function when we're back on the road. Okay, even with the transportation of the tabernacles, how to get that set up. So I know it's thorough, and this last chapter was a monster just to read, but it kind of gave us an idea of all the details that was necessary to get an entire group of 1 million to 2 million people from one place to another. The logistics is a monster. So with that being said, we're going to go to the next part of the reading, which is in, if I'm not mistaken, Judges chapter 13. Did I say? Yeah, Judges. It's Judges chapter 13, verse 2 through 25. Judges chapter 13, verses 2 through 25. And this chapter deals obviously with let's get there real quick. Hold on a second.
You don't want to just read verse 1, 2?
No, well, I guess you can, because this talks about how the Philistines were in power. The Philistines were in power over us.
Oh, never mind. I'll just...
Yeah, because the reading has us kind of jumped that. We can start at verse 1. It's no big thing. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. It's the story of Samson. It's how Samson was born and had to take the vow of a Nazarite. Okay? So this is during the time of Judges, and just so we know, during the time of Judges, it was a really crazy time with Israel because the Most High was still trying to plead with us. And before he sat back here and completely broke us and destroyed us as a nation, he was sending judges to save us. And every 40 years, every generation, we would go against the Heavenly Father, and we'd get punished, and we'd be temporarily in the power or under another nation. So the Most High would raise up a judge, so that judge would sit back here and help deliver us. A judge chosen by the Heavenly Father, and we kept going through different cycles of judges. And he had us go through the time of Judges before we completely fell in 586 BC. Okay, matter of fact, before that in 722. But let's go into this. Judges chapter 13, verse 1 down.
Judges chapter 13 and verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Most High.
It was a constant theme of Israel doing evil. Read on.
And the Most High delivered them into the hands of the Philistines 40 years.
So because of our rebelliousness, we had to be servants of the Philistines. Pay them monies. Read on.
And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and bare not.
Mm-hmm.
And the angel of the Most High appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto the Most High from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
So it was already set up that this son was going to be a Nazarite by vow, and he was trying to tell her, do nothing unclean, don't eat anything unclean, don't drink any wine. Your pregnancy has to be pure, because your son's going to be pure based off this Nazarite vow, and he's going to lead Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. Read on.
Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of the Most High came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of the angel of the Most High.
Listen, she says that this man had the countenance of an angel of the Most High. We're going to find out what type of countenance does an angel of the Most High have. Is this soft and weak and very scary and timid spirit? Is that the countenance that the angels of the Most High had? Read on.
Very terrible.
Very terrible countenance. Very strong and warlike countenance. So if the angels of heaven have this terrible countenance, this fearful countenance, do you think the Most High is walking around here being some soft chump in the damn kingdom of heaven to put these damn angels in order? That whole host of heaven was warlike and strong and potent. That's how the Most High, that's what he wants from us. And you see in this society now how everything is opposite of having a strong countenance. Yes, sis?
You just actually a good point. I was about to ask, so are all the angels that way?
Yes.
Usually when you hear about angels now, it's like some serene creature.
Yeah.
That is just
like the image of Michelangelo. Yes. Yes. And that's the truth. Like I never forget, my father had this book of all the paintings of Michelangelo, and had all the images of all the different angels. None of them had any warlike vibe to them at all. They all walked around with togas that barely covered their body parts, with these little baby bellies, walking all like this, sitting back here looking very everything looked effeminate and opposite power and strength. Soft and effeminate. But every angel you read about, never forget, when Joshua saw an angel, the first thing Joshua was told by the angel is, take off your damn shoes because you're standing on hollow ground. That was the first thing the angel said. Was it shalom, hello, greetings, I come from the Most High. He said, man, take off them damn shoes. You on holy ground, get yourself right. You're going to read about what happens with Samson's father. Was it Samson's father? No, it wasn't Samson's father. It was John the Baptist's father. And see what the angel told John the Baptist's father when he was questioning the angel about the validity of if what he's saying is true. Not yet. All these angels rode with power and strength and a fierce warlike mindset. They didn't come soft. It just shows you how this society is set up from the last 500 years has been soft and weakened on purpose. Yes, sir.
I sent you the definition of terrible.
What's that?
I sent you the definition of terrible.
Okay. Just throw out. Thank you for telling me because I can't hear it because I have it on vibrate, so I have a bunch of sounds in class. Terrible, frightful, adapted to excite terror, dreadful, formidable. Matter of fact, the scripture in Hebrews, if you ever find it, scripture says the Most High is the King of terrors.
Oh yeah, right.
It's Job or Hebrews. Job or Hebrews.
Job.
One of the two.
Job 18:4.
That's it. That sounds like it. 14 and 14. Read that.
His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the King of terrors.
The Most High is the King of terrors. Now, we all know the Most High is all things. So there's no, he's love, peace, terror, fear, hate, everything. But we also know the vibration that the Most High operates under is about being direct. The vibration that the Most High operates himself under is a very masculine, strong vibration. His angels operate in a strong, masculine vibration. They don't function with weakness. It's about exuding power and strength. It says adapted to impress dread, terror, or solemn awe and reverence. And once again, why? Why is it so important that on first glance, the angel is fearful? Why was it so important that when the Most High first communicated to Israel as a whole was on Mount Sinai, right? What happened?
Lightning, thunder.
It was lightning, thunder. People were scared to damn death. And he also said, Moses, tell these people, don't get close to the mountain or I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them dead. Well, what was the purpose of making that be the initial communication with the people? I got you. I know your hands up. To establish respect. And this is why the angels come off with this power also, to establish respect. If I can learn to respect and fear the Most High and his angels, maybe I'll sit back here and adhere to their instructions first. Once I adhere to their instructions first, then you can see the good side, the pleasant side.
But you got to do it with your children.
Exactly.
You establish the respect first.
And the order.
Why should I respect the order?
Exactly.
Why should I respect this man?
And people are so caught up with how forceful or how potent a person comes off when you have to establish that for respect's sake. Once respect is established, then you can see the good side, the fun side, the lighter side.
Well, they teach.
No. You finish your point, then I'm gonna go to sister.
Well, that's what they teach in the world today. Like they even father figures. It's more and more demasculated. Come out soft.
Yeah.
You're soft spoken. There's literally no difference between a man and a woman now.
Yeah.
It's just I'm soft. I'm always.
I can't be spoken harshly to.
I can't speak with a little bit of power.
Yeah.
I can't speak with a little bit of seriousness.
Yeah.
Everything has to be light and airy. You know what I mean?
That's why it's such a challenge to teach fatherless children. It's such a challenge to teach a child or a spirit that's not used to being talked to with any level of harshness and force. Because you can't get past just how the message was spoken to. It takes months/years for a person that's never learned how to be around a masculine spirit just to learn how to absorb a message without it being explained and triple explained and I gotta give you the understanding before you even do what the hell you're told.
I'm sorry.
No, let him finish.
I'm sorry. I literally sat there for like at least 45 minutes yesterday talking to little man because there's a difference between his father and me. His father's very, very soft, and I was like, I talk this way. I spent 45 minutes just to get him more comfortable with how I present myself.
Yeah.
And then I can then follow on with the message.
And then it's going to take that all the time. Because you can explain it, but that don't mean that next week. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And the hand, I've seen that too.
I'm sorry.
And it's almost like people come up like you about to put hands on.
Right. Oh.
I'm sorry. Like, wow. I know. That is how disconnected we are. I ain't got you, sis.
Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. It's like you need that first. Before he's going to drop something, that fear has to be there so that you can get it.
The respect. Yes.
Proverbs 9:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's how you're going to be able to get understanding and know what the person's saying.
And this is why, even with that fear, it got her listening. It got her antennas up. Like, okay, this dude's for real. He ain't some regular dude just trying to talk to me.
That's like
This cat's sitting back here delivering a message. He's all business. Let me respect him. Real quick. Yes, sis?
Well, I just had a random question about you know how you're describing the angels and stuff? I was wondering, like, is it bad that I, like, want to see them? Or, like, just, see them so I can know that they're there? Is that bad?
It's not bad that you want to see him. But you're not going to see him if you need to see him to validate if what you're experiencing is right or not. Because the thing is this, if I need to see something to validate something, like the scripture says, the Jews require a what?
Sign.
The Jews be needing stuff out the sky to just confirm that what I'm doing is right.
John 20:29.
But it says the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Right.
What we have to learn to do as a nation of people is to dedicate ourselves to applying the word and to applying counsel as much as possible and learn to trust that. Because if I can learn to trust the word and I can learn to trust the good examples of the word around me, that is the power that the Most High always has readily in front of me. Very rarely we're going to see these physical signs. What I've seen on the physical sign level, I've seen chariots. When I'm sitting back here stressing or thinking about, especially back in the day, I would see the chariot. And I'm like, oh, a chariot of Most High. Most High's with me. Now I can continue on because the Lord sent me a chariot. Now I can move on with my life. But that's as far as we're going to get. We might get some type of, I don't know. Everybody's a little different. Most of us are going to give everybody what they need to continue to push them forward. But my advice is for everybody to sit back and learn to cleave to these scriptures, cleave to the wisdom, because that is readily available. All the information we need is right here. And the thing is this, if I sit back here and cleave to just a sign, then how many signs do I need to cleave back to the book? Get what I mean? Because a lot of times a person's nature will be to cleave from one physical, tangible thing to another physical, tangible thing. And if I need to see something to make me say, let me go and dig in this word more, cool. But I can do that by just digging in the word more. And what we can do also is just sit back here and use our life and our successes to kind of determine, hey, was this the right thing for me to experience in the first place? But this is a question that a lot of people ask. It's not just you. A lot of people want that tangible thing from the skies to kind of give us confirmation, an omen, validation that what we're doing is right. And we have to trust that if we're living our life as closely connected to the scriptures as possible, we're doing right.
It's faith.
And that's the point. There's gotta be a substance of things hoped for. In order for us to grow, I have to tangibly see something that's not right there. Yes, sir.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18.
Yes. See, let's go because I can't even. Yeah, let's try it. Let's use 2 Corinthians what?
4:18.
Let's go.
While we look not at the things which are seen,
Yep.
but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
We have to sit back and condition our minds to dedicate ourselves to the things that are not seen. And the things that are not seen are our works and how the Most High is receiving them. The faith has got to be in, I'm doing good works, I'm making changes, I'm sacrificing. And because I'm making changes and adaptation to what the Most High wants, do I trust that the Most High sees it? Yes.
Yeah, I would say it's to me it's when we apply the scriptures in situations where you cannot see how it's going to work out or it looks almost impossible, and for the Most High to come through. Now we're able to see the power of the Most High in application of scripture.
And that's the key. The power is still in the application. The power is, am I making the changes necessary to please the Heavenly Father? And then trusting that I'm making the right decisions and changes for the Most High to give me a response, and Most High making my life a lot more at peace. Yes?
Okay, so I have a question. So say if you're doing, like you're changing, but you still lose your faith, like what do you have to do to gain your faith back?
Okay. If you're changing, but you're losing faith, the question is, what are you losing faith in? Because there's different levels and conditions of losing faith. Am I losing faith in serving the Most High? Am I losing faith in changing the thing that I've been changing? It's almost like, to get a specific answer, I would need to be able to have more information. And I'm not sure if what you're asking is something that we talk about here or in the council afterwards. Because the thing is this, I could be changing and working on fighting and disciplining something in myself. And then I could be having a battle of faith, like, is what I'm losing and sacrificing worth it?
Or you're not seeing the immediate results from the changes you're making.
Exactly.
So you're losing faith in the process of change itself.
Or am I losing faith because I'm just unhappy being uncomfortable?
Right.
Why would I be losing faith? Because the purpose of us sitting back here and cleaving to the Most High is this. If I'm dedicating, if I'm sacrificing, if I'm losing, what should you be happy about? What is the one thing that when you lay your head down at night, after all the dedication and sacrifice and humility and being in order and all that good stuff does, right? When you lay down at night, what should you be happy about?
I was able to please the Most High and get closer to Him.
And that's it.
That change is bringing closer to you.
Now, and the thing is this, is the lack of faith based upon the fact that I'm expecting something tangible for doing good?
An acknowledgement that I'm pleasing Him.
Exactly.
But it's here.
Because the acknowledgement, because the thing is this, for us in our youth spiritually, sometimes we want something physical, or we want a carrot for doing something that we're supposed to do anyway. And the crazy thing is, when you first start to change, you'll get a reward quickly for sacrificing, right? And then, after you get rewarded for sacrificing 1 or 2 times, you expect these rewards to keep coming when you're doing good. What does the Most High do now? He stretches out the rewards for doing good, because He's trying to teach us, can I find happiness in doing good and being in order because I'm supposed to do good and be in order? Exactly. Why am I, the Most High is constantly checking our intentions. Why am I getting up in the morning? Why am I making a sacrifice? Why am I doing good? Why am I making changes? Why am I staying in order with my husband? Am I staying in order with my husband just because I want to reward him to come and spend time with me?
Right.
Or am I sitting back here being in order because the Most High wants me to be in order? Because you know why? If I'm doing good for my husband's attention, guess what's going to happen? You going to do good? He ain't coming through that night. Listen, you might cook a special fancy chicken dinner, and he ain't gonna say nothing for the fancy. You might have cooked some asparagus, put some extra flavor and stuff on it, and you're expecting a wow, babe, I appreciate it, and you don't get it.
He walks in the door already.
So now am I gonna get mad and cause problems and get angry and cuss people out? You're supposed to do the right thing because doing the right thing is the right thing. And this is why we don't get, and sometimes I'll say I'm losing faith. Is it really faith, or I'm mad? I'm expecting a reward for doing righteousness. And that's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Because I'm supposed to find happiness in doing righteousness because I'm living a righteous life. And righteousness should be the reward for living righteous. I'm doing the right thing. Should I feel good that I checked out all the boxes that I need to fight today? And can the next day, can I get up and do it all over again and fight those things inside of me and find happiness in the fact that I changed? What's that?
It's like it says, happy if you endure.
Exactly.
Really,
the happiness is in the enduring.
Yeah.
The happiness is that the joy is that I changed. Yes, Naga?
Luke 17:9. Doth he thank that servant because he did the things?
Unprofitable servant. Yeah, read that.
Luke chapter 17, verse 9. Doth he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I trow not. So likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do.
And that's the mindset that we're supposed to function and have. Is I'm supposed to be happy that first of all, we are the Most High servant, right? So if we're the Most High servant, then I have to find pleasure in being a servant, not find pleasure in looking for a reward, not finding pleasure in getting rewarded for doing something I'm supposed to do anyway. So me sitting, but a lot of times we expect to get rewarded because we weren't negative today. That's as bad. We're that bad. We're like, listen, we're like kids that keep getting in trouble at school. I'm not going to name my kid, but back in the day, if the kid just didn't turn up and break things and throw things, he got a star. I got a star today. And I'm like, and the funny thing is, he said, I got more stars than everybody in my class. But the reason is, what the teacher did is they gave stars by the hour. So if I gave you a star every hour, it was because you weren't tripping. And you were supposed to get 9 stars, 8 stars. You came in with 5 stars. So did you really earn 5 stars? Or they were just little treats to like placate a carnal mind? And the other kid just got 1. I got 5 stars and everybody else got 1. Ah! I'm doing something. Were you really doing something? Or was something created to try to nurture and eliminate bad behavior? Right? Now, the Most High might do this on a small level in our youth, but as the more we come to class, the more we expect it to change. And we have to stop using rewards as a confirmation that we're doing right. The doing right should be the confirmation alone. And I should find joy in the fact that I'm not head tripping as frequently as I used to head trip. The Most High is forcing us to have a relationship with the Heavenly Father and not just with our husband. We have to learn to stop being in love with the reward and learn to be in love with the Heavenly Father, the power of all.
I'm going to say back with the children, you have a child that'll show up and be like, I did good today.
Yeah.
You don't want to discount that. You'd be like, you know what, that's great, but continue to do good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, ugh.
Or I'll sit back and say, yeah, that's good. You had 5 awesome stars. But what happened after lunch? Because you know, like right after lunch, you don't want to get back in the line, man. You want to keep running around. Why'd you hit that kid during lunch? What? But I got 5 stars though. I don't want to hear about the 5 stinking stars. What about putting your hands on the kid in the lunch line?
To get better.
What about the fact that when you heard the bell, you don't want to come back in line?
So am I looking for the star, and am I doing this because I just want to become a better servant?
Exactly. And that's the point. But that's what we are, and I'm using a child's scenario to compare with us as adults.
Yeah, okay.
We want something for what we're doing. We want a reward for sacrificing. We want something out of the deal. I got a class coming up on Monday at. You know what the Most High calls people like that? Mercenaries. We're mercs. We do things for hire, like the 18. We sit back here and we go do righteous acts to get something out the deal. And expect the Most High to be pleased with that type of thinking.
We should be pleased just by the service itself, and I'm gaining the opportunity to potentially get more of your acknowledgement.
But that's not how we operate.
No.
The
world don't teach us that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the world teaches, and I'm not knocking anybody. This is not an attack. It always goes back to that. This is not an attack, but I'm just trying to show this is how we think. This is how we think we're growing. We think gain is what?
Increase.
We think getting a physical, tangible reward means that we're in the spirit. I got this big blessing. I got a big car. I got this fancy thing. I got this big house. I'm in the spirit. The Most High is blessing me because I got something tangible to prove that the Most High is blessing me. And that doesn't determine blessing. You know, in terms of blessings, how long can I stay in order? How long can I control my emotions? How long can I stay disciplined? How many? Yeah, you ever see those like that stupid Simpsons intro?
Simpsons.
The Simpsons. It's the beginning where it was like how many days without an incident.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a 365, and Homer screws up. Now it goes back to 1 now.
Yeah.
That's where the growth is. How many days can you go without throwing a fit? How many days can you go without tripping?
Ooh, so
that's your growth.
So
I got you. Sis.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the reward is actually patience and temperance.
Yes.
You
how long can I sustain righteousness determines if I'm growing or not.
That's the reward.
Not some physical, tangible blessing.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with physical, tangible blessings. But if I'm looking for that, I'm short-sighted and I'm missing the big picture. The big picture is my growth. Yes, sis.
Okay, so what if you need to see an award to like continue doing good, and it gives you like a type of confidence and motivation to continue? Is that a bad way of thinking about it?
Well, it depends on what type of reward you're looking for.
Right.
Because it really depends on the reward. And like I said, if you're not comfortable talking about the type of reward you're looking for, it's cool. We can talk about it later. But we have to ask ourselves, what reward will make me think the Most High is with me? What reward will make me think that the Most High is on my side? Because rewards can be, just because I got a reward don't mean I'm blessed.
Right.
And just because I don't have a tangible reward doesn't mean the Most High is not with me. The scripture says a gift destroyeth the heart. Something that a physical thing that I get can sometimes blind the heart. Can sometimes blind the mind. So looking for that is, and I'm telling you this is, you're saying it, but I've seen grown men, when they're feeling depressed, go buy a car. In the truth. Get a bigger vehicle. I'm not even lying to you. And then I've seen a brother, when they feel bad, they just get bigger rims. I've seen that too. And that made it, or go to the damn custom sounds and get some music. Get boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, yeah, I got a blessing. Listen, I've seen it. I have literally seen it in my own eyes. So people do it all the time. But that feeling doesn't last. That feeling of feeling up and I'm getting something, I'm having things, that doesn't last long term. You might get a temporary fix, but it's not something that your spirit can sustain. So spiritual accomplishments can be something you hold your hat on. Don't forget when you're sitting back here talking about in Matthew about what man sees a field that is of value. He has to sell everything he has to invest into that field. What is that field? What is that treasure? It's the kingdom, right? But what is the kingdom? What are the elements of the kingdom? Patience, persistence, humility, long suffering. Right. These are the things, the building blocks that get you to the kingdom. And those are the things you should find happiness in and value in. Is have I, and you know what? I keep saying it. I know this sounds like, okay, this is the killjoy of war. Find happiness and patience and long suffering. But I know everybody needs a win every once in a while. I get it. I do. I'm just not doing you service and saying, yeah, you get a win. Hell yeah. Go for that win. That's not going to help any of you if I sit back here and tell you that a physical blessing is going to be the end all be all. But does a physical blessing sometimes give you confirmation to keep doing well? Yes. But it still goes back to, what am I asking for? What physical, tangible blessing do I want? What am I striving for? As my physical confirmation that the spirit is growing. Get what I'm saying? Yes, sis.
Sometimes I even get rewarded without even asking for a blessing. I just get it out of, unexpected, like, surprising. Like, I get raised on, like, on my job and stuff like that. Not even, even asking for a reward, and I just get
a good reward is like, my kids are growing up and they're maturing. I'm investing into it. I'm trying to be in order, and because my example is better, my children's example have been better. That's a good reward, or a good something that you can kind of work towards. That's tangible, but that's spiritual also.
But that means you're going on the right path when you get blessings like that, right?
I would say this: a job blessing is a blessing, and it helps the house out, and it's a confirmation that you're sitting back here and excelling better at your job. I would look at it that way, that I'm doing better at my job and I'm more consistent at my job, and that has earned me a blessing. But I wouldn't sit back here and say that blessing means that I'm doing the best I can in my home. That doesn't mean I'm being the best wife I can be. What that means is I'm doing better at my job and I'm getting rewarded at my job because I'm working harder. Get what I'm saying? A lot of times a person will say, I'm getting a raise at my job. That means I'm growing in general. People look at things that way. But a job gets you in a position to pay more bills and cover more bills. But I still have things I have to work on in my spirit at home. I have to be, how can I be a better mother at home? Can I take the success and what got me to succeed and get an increase at my job, and take what I learned from that to be a better mother, to be a better wife, to sit back here and structure my house better? Because there's certain sisters who are very gifted at being at the job, organizing things, structuring things, just being a better overall person at the job. Can I take it home? Can I take those lessons I learned from the job in disciplining myself and structure and discipline my house the same way? That's how we can sit back here. That's how we're supposed to look at blessings. What did I do to get blessed here? And can I take that same formula and get blessed somewhere else? In arenas that I'm not comfortable at.
I was going to say, because there's a complexity to that. I want to say, Scripture said, have you faith, have it between you and the Most High. Mm-hmm. But we know that the Most High always wants us to abound.
Yes.
So what a person might need to feel that connection or see something, it changes as you're abounding. That's why a lot of times when you're young and you look at somebody that's older in the truth or higher in the truth, it looks like they're untouchable. Nothing rocks them, nothing moves them. It's just where they've grown in their level of faith. It doesn't mean that's where they were before. They've just matured in that. And so a lot of that depends on where you are with your faith and what you're looking at as far as what you need. But eventually everything's about growing, and after a while you just don't look at that the same.
And the thing is this about the physical blessing, sis, there's nothing wrong with it. But I just worry that when people are looking for a physical blessing,
that's what they get caught into.
It's a saying where a watch pot never boils. You sit back here and start boiling something, it takes forever for that water to boil. If you're just looking at it like this, you get like, well, bloop. That's not boiling, bro. One little bubble that pops up is not boiling. You got to sit back and give yourself to something else, and then it's more. He's showing you about that's how expectations of blessings come also. If you want something physical, can you give yourself to another spiritual endeavor? Consume yourself with it so that the blessing that's supposed to come to you is unexpected. And that's the key. Sis, is there anything else you want to add to that point or communicate to it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Well, I guess okay, I'm okay to share this. I think my issue is the word I'm talking about is like, oh, good job, you did good, da, da, da. That type of motivation, like that type of like saying, like gets me to be more motivated to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't hear it, it's like, oh, what am I doing wrong, and am I doing it right? I don't know what I'm doing. So I have first for me personally, I have to hear, oh, you're doing good today, or you did great, in order for me to be like, okay, I'm doing good. Okay, let me just continue doing this. Like I don't know how to like go by with it. But then my mom was basically stating like, you're not gonna get that type of reward when you expect it. Because I do have times where I don't expect it, and then it comes out of nowhere and they're like, oh, you're doing good, and da da. But that's not like how I want it. I want it like when I actually do something.
God. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm not just saying it because you just said it, but from where you came from like 6 months ago, because the thing is this, when you're trying to figure out if you've grown, because sometimes, like your mother said, she was perfectly right on. You might not get it from a person when you're really looking for it, right? But you know how I look at it, how I know I've grown? Look 6 months ago. Think about 6 months ago you, or a year ago you, and ask yourself, are you the same person you were a year ago? And if you can sit back here and say that I'm not the same person I was a year ago, guess what? You're growing and you're doing a good job. And sometimes you need that in yourself to push you until you get that verbal confirmation. But I'm going to tell you, you come a long way, sis. I'm going to say, I salute you. And that's not even, there is no level of sarcasm in my voice at all. You are growing and you have to keep it up. But if there's nobody to say that, look at your works from 6 months ago, and that will tell you you're doing a damn good job. And sometimes that's what you need to keep propelling. And that will help build confidence in yourself. Because this is about confidence. And I get that also. You need to feel good and confirm that you're doing right. And that does come from people. That comes from studying. And I'm going to say this, what that also comes from, there is a difference in coming to class consistently, which I know you have. You've got to be able, when you get home, to put at least 20 to 30 minutes of reading for yourself. This word has to be yours too. And it can't just be the dictations and rantings and ravings of guys like me. My number one job is to inspire you to want to read it and make it yours. And make these words yours. Because I can tell you what, when you start reading and making these words yours, you'll start feeling more confident about yourself and about your battle. But you have to read these words yourself. And yes, sisters and brothers are supposed to lock in and follow orders, all that good stuff. But you have to make the vision yours. Right. Because this is not about having a bunch of sheep walking around here with no understanding, but they're just following. Following only works when you understand the vision. What in a perfect world, what you're supposed to do is have the humility to look at things through the lens of your teacher. But you still have to make the information yours. You still have to believe the word. You still have to study the word. What you're supposed to do, though, is give the teacher's vision the benefit of the doubt and prove it right versus proving the concepts wrong. That's what you do. And that's not about following. What it is you're giving the teacher an opportunity to trust in seeing the scriptures the way that he sees it. But that's not about the teacher trying to make zombies or make some people lock into him. This is about learning how to look at the scriptures in a way that the teacher is trying to get you to see it, and dedicate yourself to studying it and seeing it from that lens. That's where the following kicks in. But you're still supposed to study it. You're still supposed to read it for yourself, and you're still supposed to make the word yours. There's no getting around that ever. You have to continue to study and commit yourself to reading and commit yourself to gathering understanding. So there is a clarity about why you do what you do. You're never supposed to do these things and make these changes just because somebody told you to do it. That's never the point. It's not about just following somebody just because they said it. You're supposed to study and read it and make these concepts yours. That's how we're supposed to operate. That's how you protect yourself. That makes sense? But study more. The more you study, you'll know that you have a better reasoning behind what you're doing. I remember when I was young in high school and I would read things. I would sit, but the more I read, and this is another thing I think everyone should do. Right? Well, it's different because there's internet now. But back in the day, we'd have a class, and all I had was the notes from that night before. And I knew that I had to go home immediately and restudy what I read. Because when I restudied what I read, I had a better clarity of what I'm reading. So I took what my teachers taught, wrote the notes. And then after I wrote the notes, I sat back here and studied and made the notes mine, made the message mine. The more I made the message mine, I started seeing through the lens of the teacher, and it made more sense to me. The more the scriptures made more sense to me when I read it, because I know I'm not like, I've been far away from this position before. I haven't been like in that position before in a long time, but I remember that the word had to be mine, and it wasn't just Ariala's words or Tal Cobb's words or any of those brothers' words. Those words had to be my words. But I took the frame of what they were giving and made their words my words. Now my confidence picked up, my outlook picked up, my clarity of mind picked up. And I felt more confident and felt that I was doing things the right way and I was thinking things the right way because I studied more. That studying for yourself helps tremendously. Naga, yes.
Yeah, I was just trying to mention that that's kind of like it's all this. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight for you to find like gratification in this kind of mindset in this walk. And that's another aspect of what the endurance is. Endurance. That's the endurance, being patient enough to endure this process of renewing our mind, to develop your mindset, to develop the mindset, your outlook of what the reward actually is. Meaning, I'm doing for the Most High and that's enough, or I'm happy with the small changes I've made over time to keep me pushing forward and stay motivated. But that doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't.
That's something that I have to be patient enough with myself to go through these changes that I'm going through in order for me to change the outlook of what I consider a reward.
And your value system, because what you're doing
is going to change, right? But you got to be patient enough to endure the process of not getting what you're looking for, not getting the pat on the back you're looking for, to be able to get to a point where you can get to that point where your outlook is.
And the reason we go through many scriptures is because we're learning how to change our value system.
Right.
We're learning how to change. What are the things that make me happy? What are the things that pick up my self-esteem? What are the things that makes me feel good about myself? That's part of changing from a worldly way to an Israelite way. The world teaches confidence comes from your looks, your beauty, compliments, people telling you always telling you good things. That is part of transitioning from a worldly mind to a spiritual mind. And I understand when I'm transitioning, anybody's transitioning from one world to another world, it's important that whoever is in charge of that person does the best they can to remark about all the good that they are doing. It is very important. I remember when I was dealing with my kids' confidence, different kids had different issues. But I had to be very sensitive to correct, but I couldn't overshadow the small positive steps that they each made in their spirit, because I can't over compliment and gloss over the BS, but I can't just tear down and not give hope either. It's a very it is a very delicate situation to develop a spirit. It's a very time consuming, and it takes a lot of work to study and understand somebody to know which thing to say, what quote unquote button to push, what way to stimulate a person's mind. It's not an easy process. It's not an easy way to sit back here and know when to check, put fire on somebody, and then know when to say, man, you're doing a great job. That to be able to point out specifically how a person made an adjustment and when they did, you have to really like be in tune with their life. So to answer your question, you're right, and you're right to kind of look for that, but you can't depend on that either. It's a combination of both. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a phrase called buying in. Buying in is where you are convinced in what you're selling or what you're involved in. And that's kind of where it begins in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's, as a teacher, you're given the tools for the student to buy in. The more I invest in it and give to it, the more value it becomes to me. Yeah. The more I see it. Yes. Then as you start to grow, you don't need as much of that.
Exactly.
It's that same thing when you quoted earlier, what man doesn't go sell everything that he has to buy this field. That's what you're growing to, and they're all experiences and things that you go through, and it's about enduring and hanging in there long enough to get the things to keep growing and keep growing. So yeah, Scripture does say, "Let others praise you," without a doubt. But like 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, it says, "Examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Prove your own self." And that's where it comes on your behalf to say, "I'm looking to buy into this and get a value of this so I can be convinced." And that comes from the study, the experiences, and things that you go through, because the more of that you absorb, the more you grow, the higher you get.
And on your point, somebody give me Romans 14:5. Because it lines up right with what you guys are saying.
Romans chapter 14, verse 5. One man esteemeth.
No, make sure everybody gets it. Romans 14:5. What's that?
I didn't know we in quick draw mode or what.
That's hilarious. That was awesome. He was quick draw McGraw right there, man. Like, blam!
I didn't know where he was at, but let me know.
That was Tombstone right there, bro. Romans 14:5. I just want to make sure the sister can get to it.
Let me slow down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Romans chapter 14, verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another.
So one person in their life can see one day and have value in one day greater than another day. What it shows is some people may be more inconsistent in their functionalities than other people. One day, one person had a great day, the next day wasn't so great. Another person had a great day, and then the next day is the same day. That means one person can maintain their outlook more consistently than the other person. Read on.
Another esteemeth every day alike.
Okay. Another person can sit back here and maintain their outlook consistently. Read on.
Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
And the goal and the challenge is to make sure that the difference between the person who's up and down and the person whose mindset's stable the same way is how fully they're persuaded in what they're doing, how confident they are in the life they're living and the decisions that they're making. And it's very important that we all figure out how we can be persuaded on our own. I always tell every person I communicate, you can't control who compliments you. You can't control a lot of outside sources. You can't control how spiritually sensitive everybody is around you. But what can I control? I can control how much I study. I can control how much I cleave to the Most High. I can control, can I learn how to find mechanisms to keep me striving forward. We all have to sit back here Don't forget, you read Matthew chapter 6 and 33. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness. Then all things be added unto you. You have to seek the kingdom, which is the body. And you have to seek the righteousness of the Heavenly Father. So I have to have a relationship with the Heavenly Father, and I have to pursue brotherhood and sisterhood. And in the pursuit of both is how I can find that peace of mind. Okay? So when that element of sisters or brothers giving me that push is not there, am I studying? Then there's going to be times when sisters and brothers intervene and are there for me. That helps when I'm down. But it's a combination of using both sources to power you up, to help persuade you mentally, to continue to push forward. But once again, don't just rely on exhortations and confirmations from people. That is a good thing, but you better study. You better be in the habit when you're down to read. When you don't feel so good, can I practice reading? Because that is more reliable than people. Because I'm going to tell you that sometimes people are caught into their battles. And when they're caught into their battles, they might not be able to give you what you need at that particular time. Doesn't mean they hate you. Doesn't mean they have a problem with you. Doesn't mean they have anything against you. But one person might be in the middle. Your husband might be in the middle of your battle, and he can't sit back here and say the perfect words to you. Give you the perfect uplifting counsel. And when that time happens, you got to study, you got to read, you got to give yourself to these scriptures and let the scriptures power you up, or have the sisters around you that help power you up. I'm going to go back to this part in St. John 3 and 17. Yes.
Slow down. John
3 and 17.
Chapter 3, verse 17. For the Most High sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Counsel, communication, studying. The purpose of the studying and the teaching was never to condemn you. Was never to just make you feel bad so you can quit. The purpose of the teaching, the purpose of Christ's light being shine on us was to sit back here and inspire us to change and be better. Not to make us feel like we're not good enough. Because too many times when you're around strong examples, when you're around people that are trying to bring out the best in you, whether it's your husband, brothers, whoever it might be, the initial reaction with our people is condemnation, self-condemnation. I'm not good enough. The more the light is shined on me to show me that I'm lacking and behind, the first instinct is I'm not good enough. Let me withdraw from these people because these people make me look bad and make me feel bad. Just like people perceive Christ. Whenever Christ came around, what did Christ teach people? You can do more, you can give more, you can sacrifice more. And when a person is told that, most people feel insecure, weak, unstable, and want to separate. But Christ said he didn't come here to sit back and condemn people, to tear people down. He came to save. He gave people hope. So once again, as a man thinketh, so is he. I can take teaching, counsel, correction one of two ways. As his hope, it's opportunity for me to grow and get stronger, or it confirms that I'm not good enough to do this work. And we have to learn that every time we're counseled, every time light is shined upon us, it is not a confirmation that I'm not good enough. It is it's a confirmation that now I have the tools necessary to overcome anything in my life. That was the power of Christ. But you have to choose salvation over condemnation. You have to choose that what you've been given is the opportunity to grow and not die. It's a choice. And this is what Christ was teaching us. And everything around us is an opportunity to grow and not tear ourselves down. But how do I look at my circumstances? How do I look at my surroundings? In a weakened consciousness, in a doubtful mindset, or in a positive, believing mindset? Okay. So now let's go Is there any more in that sense? Any other statements or questions? Okay. Brothers? Okay. Let's continue and go to we're in Judges, right? See. Judges 13 and verse I think it's where it was about he was serious, the angel was serious. Let's go to 6 again. Let's go to 6 again.
Judges chapter 13 and verse 6. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of the Most High came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of the Most High, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
Because it wasn't about fraternizing. This is about delivering a damn message. And take this damn message serious. Stop drinking. Stop getting comfortable. Stop breaking the law. Don't forget the whole nation was what? Entrenched in sinning. Why did the Philistines take him over? Because they were breaking the laws anyway. He says, don't touch any defiled thing and don't drink any wine. Because through your body, the Savior of Israel is coming. And he's got to sit back here and be a Nazarite. Read on.
But he said unto me, behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son. And now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing. For the child shall be a Nazarite of the Most High from the womb to the day of his death.
Exactly. So he says, prepare yourself, clean up, because you're about to get blessed. Read on.
Then Manoah entreated the Most High and said, O my Lord, let the man of the Most High, which thou didst send, come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born.
Come, read on.
And the Most High hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of the Most High came again unto the woman, as she sat in the field. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her.
So Manoah just wanted all the details of how to function like a Nazarite. Because obviously they weren't teaching the damn law back in them days.
Right, he's trying to lock in.
He was trying to lock in, but it wasn't readily available. Because nobody was pushing the Bible. I always go back to Josiah. During the time of Josiah, king of Israel, they weren't reading the Bible. The priests didn't know what the hell this book was called the Bible. What is this book? Maybe Josiah wants to take a look at it. I'm a scribe. I don't know what the hell this is. The scribe of the Most High didn't know what the hell it was. That's how far left we went. It just shows this judge's time was the same way. Read on.
Verse 10. And the woman made haste and ran, and showed her husband, and said unto him, behold, the man hath appeared unto me, that came unto me the other day. And Manoah arose and went after his wife, and came to the man, and said unto him, art thou the man that spakest unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child? And now shall we do how shall we do unto him?
God.
And the angel of the Most High said unto Manoah, of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware.
He said, man, I told her this, she better be on point. She better beware, not drinking and not eating anything undefiled.
I like the order of it too.
Yeah.
Like she didn't try and speak for him.
Yeah.
She went back, go get my husband.
Yeah.
Okay, now that I'm here.
God.
Okay, now what's up?
God. As a confirmation too.
Right.
For him to believe her.
Right. He just. She said I can eat of it.
Yeah. Exactly. And he wanted to make sure. He wanted to make sure that what she was saying was legit. Read on.
Verse 14. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I command her, let her observe. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Most High, I pray thee, let us detain thee, until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Most High said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread.
So I'm an angel. Read on.
And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Most High. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Most High.
Read on.
And Manoah said unto the angel of the Most High, What is thy name? That when the saying come to pass, we may do thee honor. And the angel of the Most High said unto him, Why askest thou thus after thy name, seeing it is secret?
Man, I'm not trying to tell you my damn name.
Yeah.
It's a secret. Stop asking all these damn questions.
I'm just a messenger.
Why are you asking all them questions?
You have to do it.
I had to. I set it up.
You ain't supposed to know what that is.
That's hilarious. Let's keep going. Man.
Verse 19. So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock unto the Most High. And the angel did wondrously, and Manoah and his wife looked on.
Mm-hmm.
For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Most High ascended in the flame of the altar.
That angel was turned, whatever form he was in, turned into a flame of the altar and ascended up. Read on.
And Manoah and his wife looked on it.
They're like, what the hell just happened? Read on.
And fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Most High did no more appear to Manoah and his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Most High. And Manoah said unto his wife, We shall surely die, because we have seen the Most High. But his wife said unto him, If the Most High were pleased to kill us, he would have received a burnt offering.
He would not have received the burnt offering.
He would not have received a burnt offering and a meat offering at our hands. Neither would he have showed us all these things, nor would as at this time have told us such things as these. And the woman bare a son, and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Most High blessed him. And the Spirit of the Most High began to move him at times in the camp of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol.
Okay, so we're gonna let that part go. This just gives an intro about the Nazarite vow. We're gonna go into one more Nazarite vow real quick, and that's in the book of Luke, chapter 1. Luke chapter 1 and 11 through 20. Luke chapter 1, verse 11 through 20. Let me get that real. Type it up.
I was just gonna say that word secret also means incomprehensible.
Oh yeah, you said secret.
Yeah, and that
Yeah, when he said his name, secret.
it also means incomprehensible. You wouldn't even be able to comprehend it anyway.
Yeah, so stop sitting back here asking. Con. Yeah, I'm trying to find out. What verse is that again?
He said Luke chapter 1, verse 11 through 20.
Yeah, but what was the other verse again in Judges you guys were talking about when it says
secret?
Yeah.
That was 13 and where is that? 18.
Okay, 18.
And
okay, see, incomprehensible con.
Seeing it is
Got
secret.
Got it.
You wouldn't even be able to process it.
Exactly. So stop asking. Listen, they're showing you these angels were sharpened to the point they weren't even playing around. They were playing around with heathens out.
It's about business.
I got a message to deliver. Check out this one when it's dealing with John the Baptist. So we're at Luke chapter 1 and verse 11. Okay.
I want to touch some more of this reading.
Okay, go for it, man. You got it. I got it.
You need only ask.
That's
I want to help out my brother, man.
That's awesome. So Luke chapter 1 verse 11.
Luke chapter 1 verse 11. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Most High, standing on the right side of the altar of incense.
Mm-hmm.
And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him.
There wouldn't be fear falling on you if there wasn't something worthy to be afraid of. These angels spark fear in a person's heart. These guys were for real. Okay, read on.
But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John.
Because Elizabeth was obviously barren, and they prayed for it, and the angel listened to the prayer. And this is John the Baptist. Read on.
And thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of the Most High, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb.
So he wasn't going to drink wine or strong drink. He was going to sit back here and have a Nazarite vow himself. Read on.
And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Most High their power.
Got it.
And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah. Is that Elijah?
Yes, Elijah. So it says Elias, but it meant Elijah.
And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Most High.
1 second. We're going to go, hold this, and go to Matthew 11 and 12.
Matthew chapter 11.
Matthew 11, and matter of fact, it starts Matthew 11, and it starts at, let me see, 11.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 11.
So now Luke 1 is telling you about that this child John is going to be in the spirit of Elijah to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. Read that, Matthew 11 and 11.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he.
Mm-hmm.
And from the days of John the Baptist unto now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force.
And with the Romans. Read on.
For all the prophets and the law prophesied unto John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come.
So when it talked about in Luke that the power of Elijah was in him and the spirit of Elijah was in him, it was because it literally was Elijah in the spirit that reincarnated into the body of John the Baptist. Okay, so John the Baptist was Elijah the prophet, and this is the confirmation. Now we let that go in Matthew and go back to Luke chapter 1 verse 17.
Luke chapter 1 verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Most High. And Zechariah said unto the angel, whereby shall I know this?
So it's now he's sitting back here and asking all these extra questions, man. How am I going to know this? Read on.
For I am an old man, and my wife well stricken in years. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel.
And this is Gabriel. This is the messenger of the Most High. This is an archangel. This guy was even more serious than the other angels that were communicating about Samson. He says, I'm Gabriel, Gabar Ya'ala. I'm the messenger of the Most High that stand in the presence of the Most High. He stands in the Most High's presence. Read on.
And am sent to speak unto thee, and to show thee these glad tidings.
I'm trying to give you some good news, and you're sitting by your asking, how are you going to do it? It ain't going to work out. I'm too old. My wife's too old. How is it going to happen? Watch what he does. Always complaining. I'm trying to bring good news to you, tripping. Read on.
And behold, thou shalt be dumb, and not able to speak, until the day that these things shall be performed.
Can you imagine that? Most say you ain't gonna be able to speak a damn word and hear until this child is born. Because all you got is nothing but damn things to say. Mm-hmm. This angel was for real. Gabriel was for real. All business. Don't talk nothing but crap to me. He said, man, shut your mouth out.
He didn't say
literally,
it, he did it.
Your mouth's gonna be shut.
I ain't leaving it to you.
You got nothing but crap to say. You ain't gonna say a goddamn word. Excuse my French. Until this baby comes out. Man,
he didn't even ask, why'd you say it?
No, he just said, man, listen, you ain't gonna talk after this, bro. Until this baby come out. You got something to say, you ain't got nothing to say no more. Think it. Don't say it. Read on.
Because thou believest not my words.
Golly, bro.
Which shall be fulfilled in their season.
So it wasn't just, because, crazy thing is, Abraham laughed too about how am I going to have this child in my old age? There was something angry and negative about Zacharias to get banged on like this. He got hit hard. He said, because you doubted, you're negative, you ain't going to talk until this baby comes. Damn, man. That's real.
Because the angel told Abraham, said, indeed, she will have a child.
Yeah.
And
he allowed that. Because you know why? What's inside it? Because Most High is judging a person based on what's inside of them. Not just the words, what's inside of you.
Maybe it wasn't a laugh of disbelief. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was a laugh of like astonishment. Like, wow.
Or he just wasn't, there wasn't any negative behind it.
Okay. Yeah.
This guy's intention was negative.
Right.
He said, listen. He said, because thou believest not my word, which shall be fulfilled in their season, and if I take away your ability to speak, you're going to hope and pray this time comes out. You're going to be praying and hoping that the Lord sits back here and brings his child in.
I'm saying, that's like saying, man, that's BS, man. I'm old.
That's my point. It was the spirit behind what he said. I wasn't just the fact he said it. And that angel got him, man. These angels ain't no punk. These angels are for real. Not to be trifled with. Read on.
Verse 21.
No, that's it.
Oh,
that was my fault. And that was all on that, because the purpose of going to that verse was to explain that John the Baptist had he didn't drink any strong drink either. He had a Nazarite vow as well. Okay? And we're going to let that go and go to our last verse of the reading, which is in Acts chapter 21. Yes. I know, Mama.
Yes.
It's almost break time. Acts 21, verse 17 through 26. Acts 21.
Verse 17 through 26.
Verse 17 through 26. Okay, let's do this.
Acts chapter 21, verse 17. And when we were come to Jerusalem, the brethren received us gladly. And the day following Paul went in with, let me read that again. And the day following Paul went in with us unto James, and all the elders were present. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much Paul was explaining how the Most High worked with him to teach Israel scattered abroad Asia and Asia Minor. Read on.
And when they heard it, they glorified the Most High and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And they are informed of thee, that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they ought not to circumcise their children.
First of all, the impactful verse in here was the fact that the Jews in Jerusalem understood that Paul was teaching the Jews which were among the Gentiles. That was the impactful verse.
Right.
Now, what their understanding of Paul's intention in dealing with the Jews that were amongst the Gentiles was off base. But it doesn't change the fact that all the Jews in Jerusalem that were zealous and following the law understood Paul was teaching the Jews that were scattered amongst the Gentiles, which the Jews in Jerusalem looked upon as Gentiles.
Right.
Okay? But they were upset at Paul because they felt that Paul was teaching the Israelites who rolled like Gentiles not to follow the law of Moses. Okay? And to forsake the circumcision and the customs of the Jews. And they had a contention with Paul on that. What they didn't understand is Paul had to sit back here and focus on the important things first. The love, the peace, the mercy, the long suffering. And not to do the pagan zones. Then you can work on all the other details later. To sit back here and throw 635 laws on people is madness. Let me teach these people how to love one another, and then we can work on all the other stuff later on.
Don't drink blood.
Exactly. Don't drink blood. Don't deal with don't have intercourse with your family members, direct family members. Your direct family members. That was another one. The adultery thing. That was the thing they were teaching. Paul taught, but he understood you couldn't sit back and get all super detailed on a bunch of people that were raised around pagan idolatry the whole time.
They grew up in it.
They grew up in it. So I got 25 years in pagan history. I got to sit back and give you 635 laws and go over all this Torah stuff automatically. You gonna get it?
It wasn't another doctrine. It was just the stages.
Exactly. So continue in verse 22.
Verse 22. What is it therefore? The multitude must needs come together, for they will hear that thou art come.
Mm-hmm.
Do therefore this that we say to thee. We have 4 men which have a vow on them. Them take and purify thyself with them, and be at charges with them, that they may shave their heads, and all may know that those things whereof they were informed concerning thee are nothing, but that thou thyself also walkest orderly and keepest the law.
So what they were saying in verse 24 is that they wanted Paul to purify himself, because he's been around a bunch of heathen doing heathen things. And if you're going to come back in the camp or the city, they were requiring Paul to purify himself because he was unclean. Okay, read on.
Verse 25. As touching the Gentiles which believe, we have written and concluded that they observe no such thing, save only that they keep themselves from things offered to idols, and from blood, and from strangled, and from fornication.
And let me adjust this. What they were telling Paul is that the Gentiles had to go through all this purifying process, shaving their head, and going through all these extremes before they came into the city of the Jews. And Paul said, listen, man, I didn't go into all those purification techniques with the Gentiles. The only purification techniques that I was teaching the Israelites scattered throughout the different lands was to not do idols, don't drink blood, don't eat any strangled animals, and avoid that fornication and that strange doctrines that they were tapping into. That was the purification that Paul was pushing the Hebrews in, that didn't know who they were. Read on.
Verse 26. Then Paul took the men, and the next day, purifying himself with them, entered into the temple, to signify the accomplishment of the days of purification, until that an offering should be offered for every one of them.
So it's just showing you that they went through the purification process with the Israelites who didn't know who they were when they came down to Jerusalem. Okay? When they came down to Jerusalem with the brothers that were with him. Okay, with James and the other men. But any other questions? Comments? Issues? Complaints? Vexations of spirit? Yes, mamas. I'm sorry. She got some problems. She got some issues. Okay. Well, we're gonna send our prayers up real quick, y'all, because it's that time. And so let's get started. Amajim Wapanya Yerah Shalom. Rise and face Jerusalem. Ooh. It's actually colder than normally. Yeah, that's what it is. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please listen to us right now.
Please listen to us right now.
Send Micah Allah.
Send Micah Allah.
And the righteous angels.
And the righteous angels.
To watch over.
To watch over.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Protect.
Protect.
And make strong.
And make strong.
The people of Yasharallah.
The people of Yasharallah.
Also send unto us.
Also send unto us.
Much wisdom.
Much wisdom.
Much understanding.
Much understanding.
Much knowledge.
Much knowledge.
Much patience.
Much patience.
Much faith.
Much faith.
Much brotherhood.
Much brotherhood.
And much love.
And much love.
Spiritual power.
Spiritual power.
And forgive all of our sins.
And forgive all of our sins.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Come quickly.
Come quickly.
For in thee is our hope.
For in thee is our hope.
Always.
Always.
And forever.
And forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Nathun Lanawa.
Nathanawa.
Hathawara.
Hathawara.
Bless you, Yahweh, and name Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law. Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Nathun Lanawa.
Nathanawa.
Award.
Award.
Lara'ah.
Lara'ah.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, that gives us the light to see. Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Nathun Lanawa.
Nathanawa.
Ha'ayah.
Ha'ayah.
Quara.
Quara.
La Quara.
La Quara.
Ha'aim.
Ha'aim.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Hahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Nathun Lanawa.
Nathanawa.
Shaman.
Shaman.
Zayat.
Zayat.
Lamashak.
Lamashak.
Yasharallah.
Yasharallah.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord.
It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord.
And to sing praise unto thy name.
And to sing praise unto thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
To show forth thy loving kindness.
To show forth thy loving kindness.
In the morning.
In the morning.
And thy faithfulness every night.
And thy faithfulness every night.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
And upon the psaltery.
And upon the psaltery.
Upon the harp.
Upon the harp.
With the solemn sound.
With the solemn sound.
For thou, Yahweh.
For thou, Yahweh.
Hast made me glad through thy work.
Has made me glad through thy work.
I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
How great are thy works.
How great are thy works.
And thy thoughts are very deep.
And thy thoughts are very deep.
A brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not.
Neither does the fool understand this.
Neither does the fool understand this.
When the wicked spring as the grass.
When the wicked spring as the grass.
And when all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
And when all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
It is that they shall be destroyed forever.
It is that they shall be destroyed forever.
But thou, Yahweh,
But thou, Yahweh,
art most high forevermore.
art most high forevermore.
For lo, thine enemies.
For lo, thine enemies.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies shall perish.
For lo, thine enemies shall perish.
All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered.
All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered.
But my horn shalt thou exalt.
But my horn shalt thou exalt.
Like the horn of a unicorn.
Like the horn of a unicorn.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
Mine eye also shall see.
My eye also shall see.
My desire on mine enemies.
My desire on mine enemies.
And my ears shall hear.
My ears shall hear.
My desire.
My desire.
Of the wicked.
Of the wicked.
That rise up against me.
That rise up against me.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of the Lord.
Those that be planted in the house of the Lord.
Shall flourish in the courts of our power.
Shall flourish in the courts of thy power.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
To show that the Lord is upright.
To show that the Lord is upright.
He is my rock.
He is my rock.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
B'Shem Yahushua.
B'Shem Yahushua.
Psalms 133. Shayar.
Shayar.
Hama Iowa.
Hama Iowa.
La Dawad.
La Dawad.
Hana.
Hana.
Ma. Tawab. Wama. Na'ayam. Shabbat. Akim. Gum. Yachad. Kashaman. Hatawab. Ayo. Hara'ash. Yerad. Ayo. Hazakwan. Zakwan. Aharan. Shayaran. Ayo. Hayat. Madawat Yawa. Kator. Haramwan. Shayaran. Ayo. Haroria. Tazayawan. Kaya. Sham. Tazawat. Yahweh. Habaraka. Kayayam. Hawalam. Basham Yahshai. Yahweh. Basham. Yahshai. Rakanawa. Bashralik. Obiyat. Support. Turn. Yahweh. Basham. Yahshai. Rakanawa. Bashralik. Obiyat. Support. Turn. Yahweh. Basham. Yahshai. Rakanawa. Bashralik. Obiyat. Support. Turn. Yahweh. Basham. Yahshai. Rakanawa. Bashralik. Obiyat. Support. Rakatha Yahweh. Rakatha Yahushai. Rakatha Yahweh. Rakatha Yahushai. All knowledge. All wisdom. All understanding. All love. All mercy. All patience. All power is from Yahweh. All power is from Yahweh. All power is from Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. The Miyad. Aman. Circle up.
Saluting out in the heavenly order, Yahweh, wa Yahushai, wa Kol Yasha'Allah, men of Israel, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Rakatham, Kwam Yashallah, Kwam Yashallah, Kwam Yashallah, Kwam Yashallah, Kwam Yashallah, Kwam Yashallah. Yadta, turn and face sisters. Please stand. Saluting out the daughters of Zion, men of Israel, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Yashamatap. Dismissed. Fall out. Shalom, everybody online. Talk to y'all soon. See y'all Monday.